All right, fantastic. So yeah, today we are going to look at some small blind play. I think a few different spots. Feels like population does tend to over call in that spot, but when we're facing a three bet from the small blind, or what spots we should be focusing on ourselves as three better. Mike, what did you have in mind? What spot did you struggle with particularly the most in this spot? Because I know this is a spot that was delicate to you and you brought it up.
Yeah, I don't have a particular spot. I haven't narrowed it down to if it's blind versus blind and I'm the small blind, or if I'm in the small blind and there's a raise in front of me. I feel pretty good pre-flop about my ranges and what I'm doing with three bets, and I'm never flat, rarely flat, unless it's from a very early position raise. I'll
So
maybe
you're
throw.
probably getting destroyed blind versus blind and playing incorrect strategy there, you think?
Could be, absolutely. I'm 100% sure of it.
I mean, I imagine like not being aggressive enough, or if you just limp in, or if you're just not playing aggressively enough post flop or playing too aggressively. It's really interesting, right? It's a very hard spot because Rangers are so close per se in that spot outside of the top of the range if they're not three betting, that it's kind of difficult, and population will mix strategies a lot. So yeah, I think looking at some cash game blind versus blind to see when we're raising, when we do get called, how we should continue to be aggressive. A lot of us are just betting small and praying to God they fold after we open. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be more of a section for online players, right, Matthew? So we're not going to spend too much time. So because I know live that just doesn't happen too much either. It's just not a thing. Blind versus blind, not a thing. Live poker, right? So cool.
Yeah,
I
most
mean,
people
I have
most people chop.
never been in this spot live. I can remember there was interesting outside of a leveling war versus a spiteful person, right? Like that's it. It has to be some leveling war versus somebody pretty spiteful. That um No limit 50, GTO 2.5. This will be good. Something went wrong. We are working on some solution. What did I do wrong? What did you do?
Bet
I think
size
you're good.
in
Maybe if you put three
general.
bet size to GTO, but I think you're good.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, looking at this range, I was gonna quiz it, but it's okay. Looking at this, you are opening pretty much ace three off, all pairs. I mean, you just have no flats really. You can mix flat, but offsuit 8x plus, all suited fives, queen deuce suited plus, all your suited connectors, some suited fours in there, suited three. So this is a pretty wide range. I don't flat the small blind very much. So I imagine, Mike, when we get in this node, raise, both ranges pretty wide. Population will probably have ace deuce off to ace jack, right? At practically full frequency. Deuces through nines make a lot of sense. Maybe people are three betting nines and eights a little bit more than they should. But yeah, this sliding range looks pretty solid. Offsuit nines, suited fours, also it's 10 deuce suited plus. Yeah, okay. Let's just give it a random board. And this is the spot we should be studying, and I think is going to be important. Our betting strategy. Right the fuck away. Look how much you're checking. That's a lot of checking, or universally. We are checking 65%, betting 35%. Let's see.
And the boards we always bet are
Paired boards. Let's
paired and
see.
trip boards.
Yeah, let's start filtering and seeing, okay, as a heuristic, we've opened in a small blind. What boards can we comfortably just know we can bet a lot on? And right now it doesn't look doesn't look like a whole lot. Ace high paired boards. Right now we have king high paired boards, and these are what? 60%? King
What
high
if you
paired boards, queen high
if you
paired
sort
boards.
by
Sure, bud.
B33, will that
That's what
tell
I
it to
did.
me?
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's what this orange. That's what these are. So
Well,
if you can,
you're
go ahead.
highlighting it, but you're not sorting by it.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it would highlight, right? Oh,
Highlights,
I
yeah.
see what you're
Cool.
saying. No, 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 no. You do this. There you go.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Thank you. Yep. So
Trip.
if you do this, trips, trip
Trips
aces.
are the monster.
Well, I mean, that's so hard, but overall as a heuristic, like looking at a lot of paired boards up here, ace high, king high, queen high paired boards. Woof, we found something, right? Trip boards as well. Trips
Yeah.
are the monster, like you're saying. Of course, that's the spike. Um, Queen Jack 10, you go kind of hard on. King Jack 10, 8-3-3 pair, but a lot of this is still a lot of mixing.
Yeah.
A lot of mixing. Trip boards are like these huge spikes. And then you have some down here, 6-5-4, 3 low cards connected. You're just almost done, you know. Ace King Deuce two-tone. Look at your betting strategy on these Ace King X, Ace Queen X boards. 125. That's it. That's kind of interesting, right? 6, 7, 8, just dead.
Yeah.
Monotone ace and king, ace high boards. You would probably get most people messing this up and autopiloting 33 and being dead wrong. So
Yeah.
Do you
I
see
can
any 3 Broadway boards? Like, where are those?
let's do this. Go back to
Those are going to be
flops.
bad for them.
Go back to flops and do it this way. Here are ace king X, ace queen X. Look at ace king. Just no small bet. It just bombs, right? Ace queen X, ace jack X. Here's your Broadway boards. You have a pretty mixed strategy here, right? But look how much you're betting. 30%, Mike. So you're gonna be using a lot of checks in these scenarios, or you're gonna be able to mix check
Okay,
with a good portion of your range.
There were some 3 Broadway boards there, and it looked like those were betting more like in the 60 to 70 range.
Oh,
Here-
I think that's the rainbow. The rainbow boards bet a little bit more. Two-tone boards bet a little less.
Here's the heuristic that I'm starting to see here,
here we go.
which is the boards that we can basically bet range on are all the ones where you can say that this just misses, that he 3-bets everything in this range. So for example, 10 Jack Queen, he never has ace king. He's always 3-bet his ace king away. Therefore, you can range bet that.
There is no range betting.
Take a no, those ridiculous spikes.
Oh, well, over here, king, but these
Yeah,
bigger
the
ones
three- yeah,
here,
The
but
trip
these are
board,
paired.
yeah, the trip boards are, I mean, sometimes you have quads, but rarely, but it's all who has pairs. And we've raised all our pairs in this situation. And he has 3-bet many of his pairs. So he just doesn't have pairs left.
So these spikes here, queen,
Yeah,
jack, 10.
those kinds of spikes are, those range
But, I
bet looking
mean,
spikes are not
these
based on
aren't even here.
our range, but
Right.
what his range doesn't have. That's my first heuristic.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
It is, but I wouldn't follow that because I mean you're still doing about 60%, 50% checking in those spots as well. Like you can't
Really?
even king jack 10 or king, like here's king queen 10. That's 50%.
Okay.
These are 50%, brother. Like you
Right.
can't, their range is pretty not nasty here. Like, oh fucking toe. Toe better not be on this right now. Did you give me my spot back? Thank you.
if you want, you can filter for the
Oh,
the
here's
queen
small
jack
blind.
10
Oh, yeah,
flops.
Right, you could make top card ace and low card 10, and that'll give you all of your Broadway flops.
But you guys, we're seeing it with our here, like those boards are right here in front of our eyes. Like, I mean, I'm going to do that, but like,
Yeah, no worries.
here's King Jack 10, this one.
Yeah, it needs an ace queen. And he never has ace queen.
Any over here on the ace high section? These ace high boards are deceptive as hell. Look how much betting. I mean, this is all the aces, and you're just shook. Ace low low.
Yeah, it's bad.
People think it's just common. And you need to see this because when your opponent, and this is how I mean, I play the game as well. That helps me. You got to see the other side of it. You're studying it, that they think about what you do. When you defend this spot, and then you see them just willy-nilly C betting 30% in this spot, like you're an idiot and gonna overfold. You're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make their lives hell like you should because they don't get to do these things. You don't get to just 3x and then just bet small range on some of these spots. I'm going to make your life hell. Like you have to, any little bit of equity fight because they can't just have it. And they shouldn't be doing it, right?
Right.
What else is something? Let's start doing some quick filters before we play this spot a little bit. And then call on you guys and then do it that way. So which spot should we paired fun overall? Any all paired boards, right?
Yeah, I think the takeaway there is we've lost all our big bets.
No big betting. And look, you feel like, oh, I can go crazy. Still checking them with 60% overall. It's crazy.
I mean, that's a super common heuristic, right?
Yeah. Bet
When you're C
small.
betting, that you don't have big bets when the board's paired.
Nope. I mean, this is crazy, right? Ace paired. You would think these low ones you just don't get to just go crazy. I
And
mean,
the
this is betting
spikes and the low ones are on.
threes, deuces, twos, threes. They shouldn't have a lot of that. There's suited deuces, deuce,
Okay, right. Is deuces
yeah,
and threes are the ones that don't.
deuce,
Yeah.
deuce. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, anytime there's suited deuces out there, you kind of can just do your thing or a deuce out there and just go crazy. That's yeah. It's kind of common heuristic as well. I mean, I'm assuming this little spike will be, yeah, that's just, those are really good, but there's not going to be deuces there. They're going to be down here. King deuce deuce, a little bit, but it's more of the lower ones. So yeah, overall, like we're going to be doing a lot of checking in this spot. And then some of the bigger boards, you want to be 125 kind of polar. This is the tough spot. Yeah, we're gonna have to run this for an hour before we start to generate a feel. Like even myself,
Yep. Did you
like
just go with
naturally, I'm
the-
aggressive. I just want to bet and put people in spots, but out of position here, range is so tight, condensed, and they have a lot of good hands in there. You have to be very disciplined in this spot, is what I'm starting to see. Let's do a few more filters. Here's flush draw really quick. Rainbow, excuse me. Mamma mia. Get a bit of big
Rainbow.
betting.
Rainbow or big bets are 20. Okay. Picture that.
Yep. And here's the big betting section. I mean, my goodness. I'm sorry, I'll go back slower so you can see. Some of our brains want to see it like that. Look at our ace low low boards. Don't go big and polar. Don't do it.
Nope.
No, no, no. Paired boards there. You can start going pretty big on King 10x, King Queen X, King Jack X. King low low, King mid mid, small. Queen high boards, Queen 10, Queen Jack, Queen 9, big. Queen low low, small. And this is just going to keep following suit. Jack 10x, Jack 9x, Jack 8x, some big bets. Jack low low, a lot of small. 10 9, 10 8, 10 7, big. And ooh, all these 10x boards you get to go kind of big. It's pretty cool. Same with some of these 9x. And then low boards are hell.
Right.
Low connected are just disgusting. 0 bets on 3 connects, 4, 5, 6, like 0%, 0%. You're done. You're done.
And
You're done.
the same filter, just if it's the board This is with that, this is with a flush draw on the board, or this is mixed rain.
This is just rainbow. Here's flush draw.
Okay, then why, I see some, oh,
I
that was,
apologize.
oh, the flop isn't there. Okay, right. Yeah, let's do can we do the exact same filter with a flush draw?
Woo! Check. You gotta check even more. You gotta check a lot on flush draw boards.
So when the
70%
flush draw
out of
board comes
position.
in,
You're
you
done.
go crazy on the
And
checks.
you go, and when you do bet, you're just
It's
bombing.
small.
No, look
No,
at the ace king
look
X.
across the range. Am I looking the wrong thing?
Oh yeah, I was starting up here. I was referring
Yeah.
to your ace king X, but overall, small. I mean, it still has the same amount of big betting here. It is deceptive. It's 3%. It looks like a lot here. I see a reasonable amount
Yeah,
of
let me
purple.
see.
I'm like the 125s. Could you go over the big bets again? Yeah, Molten. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
I'm doing good. Oh, you already went over it. It's just that I
Okay.
typed that in like a couple minutes ago. Just
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we
we're
go
working on small blind BVB.
3.3, 4, 8.
Here we go.
So what it is, so here's what I see about that, Sean.
Yes.
Sixes
That's
is,
fine.
so we check way more. We go from 58% checking to 69% checking when the flush draw comes in. But our big bets go, our 50% goes down and gets put into the 33. So the 125 is still 3.3. The 75 is, went from 4.3 down to 4, but the 50% went from 8 down to 5. And the small bets. Oh wait, the small bets are, no, I'm comparing the exact same situation, flush draw to non-flush draw. And what's happened is, yeah, a bunch of the 33s went into check.
So we're checking a lot more. A fucking
Yeah,
shitload
we're checking more.
That's it.
And the ratio of big bets to small bets is it's a little higher on our big bets of the betting.
Sixes, this is
Check-
Scotty's vision quest to
Yeah, this is my
understand.
vision quest, is try to figure out what flush draw, what a flush draw, when we see a flush draw, how that affects our bet size.
But you
Uh,
need
I
to
like
also,
big
I wouldn't just like make sure you're focusing
Yeah.
on a texture. Like it's gonna help you, but more just, I don't know, the game sense of getting a feel for your range as well. Like more so than understanding what I'm gonna do on a flush draw as a whole, you're gonna have the actual fucking 2 cards in your hand, and you need to know how to play those cards in the spot. So getting in game, knowing that the bottom of your range in a heuristic when you have a spade on these flush draw boards and what to do there is more important than the overall big picture. Because understanding what you need to do in game on in when we get in spot, when we have a single heart, is going to be way more important with an over. And understanding that as a whole every time you're in that spot. Queen 6-5 and you have the king of hearts. Can I ever fold to 50%, or should I be c-betting this ever? And knowing that infinitely every single time will be good for you, more so than this as a whole.
Yeah,
This is good
excuse
to
me.
see as a whole, it's good, but when we get in the fucking spot, we need to know when we have the actual cards a lot.
Yep.
What's up, Scotty?
I was saying, yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. No, I was gonna
Maybe
say,
not
I was
Scotty,
just about
but
to ask you
Skate.
that question. Yeah, I was about to just ask you that. I was just thinking like out loud in my head, like, oh, like how does our strategy change if we have that one suit, like especially the nuts ace of X or the king X of whatever it is that completes.
Well, yeah, I mean, once we'll see when we get there, right? That's why you look at this. This is just quickly for you to understand that you're probably c-betting too much out of position, and you may not be using the correct sizes. You can't go ad nauseum because you don't know what I don't know what every single person's leak and understanding here is. But just looking at it from a general sense of how much we should be betting, and not getting too caught up in some of the small, minute details, because now we just know, okay, I'm a fucking probably mix check with my entire range in these spots. There's probably very few hands that I'm going to be always pure betting. Obviously, you're going to be some when we find those out, but we can probably mix check a lot. And then which hands do I want to be c-betting? Which hand do I want to check raise? And that's where I want to find out. I just need to look at it and say, fuck, I'm probably c-betting too much. And when I want to keep c-betting, so where do those come from? Paired boards, and when I do c-bet some of the ace X, king X, queen X boards, I should probably be more polar rather than ever mixing small. And we're just trying to get little takeaways like that, man. And then, oh shit, I'm going fucking polar on ace eight, ace X boards. Don't do that anymore. Just go
Right.
small. Those little takeaways repeatedly when we do these sessions will be good for you. And don't feel beat up when you don't know all this. Just try to find one little thing, right? That's all we're trying to do. We're not trying to overcomplicate it. I don't want you guys to like beat yourselves up about knowing all. I don't know all this shit. I'm just trying to find the most important things. 3 low card boards, I'm done.
Yep.
3 low connected, get me out. Right? These kind of boards, bet bigger. Only bet small here. We've seen this multiple times. Don't ever use big bets on ace low low, really. So let's just keep working on those kind of things. And then once we get into post flop stuff, we see these kind of boards, we see the bets, and then we'll have more things we can take with us from today's session. But let's do really quick. Monotone boards happen. So yeah, let's look at some monotone boards and see. Whoa! Czechoslovakia. I mean,
Just eliminate
whatever
big
you
bets.
have in your hand, you could decide when do I want to, what are these spikes? What do I want to bet? It's probably going to mix check. You could probably almost check your entire range in these spots.
Yep. And you can eliminate the big bet if you want.
It's done.
Yeah, just
it's,
don't
it's
even
done.
find it.
Yeah, you could just bet small with some people with some nutty ass hands and just, or have some of these combos where it's okay to bet and you don't mind going future streets and building the pot. Yes, but overall you can probably check. Right. So that's an easy ass takeaway. And oh, the connector boards have to be hell for us. Hell. Yikes. If it's connected, be shook. Unless it's high card boards. All these low cards start from the bottom. Oh man. Seas of check. So just looking at this in this study today, when we open, we just have to have a check. We're going to be checking a lot. Now we're going to find out if we're going to be check raising a lot. Or what boards are good to check raise, or when we should be over giving up.
Right. And the connected boards that we get to bet a lot are our Broadway connected boards, and specifically the ones he doesn't have.
Ace, king, queen, ace, king, jack. Yeah, these big ones.
Yeah. The
And
ones
then
the bigger spike there is where the ace queen and the ace
yeah,
king
right here.
make straights.
King, jack 10, queen, jack 10, right?
Yeah.
King, queen 10.
Because he
So
just
these
doesn't
are
have-
our only go crazy. Well, not go crazy, and these boards are 70%.
Yeah.
Which feels like a range bet in this situation, from what we've seen. Queen, jack 10 is 77%. All sizes applicable. Oh, I'm ready to do some work. Let's see. What else we got? One more. Disconnected boards will probably be our 50-something% bets. 58% overall. Whew, still. Damn. Look at this. Nope. 65% check. It looks like a lot though.
Do you wanna get rid of connected? Like X that one?
Oh yeah. That's good. That's good.
You could go to the left and just exit. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
these are all boards.
That's connected. I
That's what we
griefed
just
it.
did.
I griefed it. I'm sorry.
There you go. No worry.
Disconnected we want to see, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I was right. 58%. All right.
The
so
interesting thing to me is that now we see where our big bets come from.
Let's
This is
drop
beautiful,
out
right?
the pair. Let's remove the not pair. Let's take the pairs out of this disconnected boards. Make them not paired, so we don't get that skew.
Well, are we going to be checking now? 62%. But this is very clear. This is a fun little pattern. You learn something every day. Look at this. Ace, king, X. Ace, queen, X.
And the
So big,
Jack,
small.
And then you're down in the C. Once it gets to this ace 9, small. That's it. You got better today a little bit.
Right. And the thing that in each pattern, you see the little houses we have here. They all start with a spike
The
and then
lowest.
a little one.
A 2 or
That
3.
spike is the
2, 3, 4.
non-flush draw board. So
I
that's a
see your point.
frequency thing.
Ah, yeah, it's a non-flush draw board. Yep.
Yeah, rainbow, you just get to bet more than flush draw.
No, this is yep, rainbow.
Well, what if you added rainbow to the filter? Is that crazy? Am I speaking out of place?
Oh, we would, all those houses would get
Yeah, it would
one,
just even
one
out.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you can see now.
Now you get to bet. You need a rainbow to get to 50% of the time betting. You need a rainbow disconnected, not paired
Yep.
board.
And also we're getting a lot
So
of big
funny.
betting.
Yep. All right, let's get to work. Was there any? I think that covered most, if not all, the filters for the most part. We didn't do triple, but we saw we were going ape shit on triple. But before we get in there, I feel like that's always a fun exercise for the people who are kind of nerds like me that like to see patterns and heuristics like that. It always helps me seeing those.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
So now that we get in game, we should be aware that we need to be checking a lot. And then from there, we're going to have to intuitively think if we're check raising or not because we haven't studied that part, which is fun.
Yep. I want to throw one other thing in here as you're setting this up. The definition of disconnected on this thing is not, it is that there's no open-ended straight draw possible. There can still be a gut shot straight draw possible is still considered disconnected by this program.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't need ace nine deuce, ace jack deuce is also disconnected.
We can start with certain board types so we can run through some stuff and get better that way. So we have 1, 2 rainbow boards, flush draw boards. Let me think. Paired boards, 3.
I vote for do all the boards because that way you get to figure out.
Well, I'm just thinking of a timing perspective. Like
Okay.
we're gonna
Yeah.
do 5 hands each, right? And then
Okay.
look at some of the things. They can go pretty long. So I'm just trying to think. All right, we do like 20 hands. I think this spot is worth our time. Even if you're a live player, just understanding and looking at this stuff is good because probably makes in some online stuff as well. And talking poker, I don't even fucking play that much cash. I'm a tournament pro, right? But this helps me tremendously in my games. Cool. I think we'll just start with rainbow, not paired. Do I care about the connectedness or disconnectedness? I think getting no. We start off like that. Cool, let's do that. Yeah. And then it'll be on our action, start training. Did it give us the big blind or something? Did I grief it? Nope. All right. Mike, MC, get your ass in here. Let's do it, Cletus.
King three's a raise. Oh, we did raise. Okay, we're starting.
Yeah, we 3x'd.
Yep.
From the small blind and a call.
This is a pure check.
Pure check. Are you c betting any overpairs in this spot? For instance, do you think
this is one of those you check your entire range? Like there's like what 10% maybe to c bet here, but this is that flop that you check your range.
was it this flop that we checked our entire range, or was it 3, 4, 6, 4, 5, 6? Are you sure when there's a deuce in there? Were you 100% sure you're not c betting any overpair ever?
Well, yeah. Like I said, maybe a very small percentage. If you
Okay.
if you roll your dice and you roll a like 15 or less, then you can see a bit. But I would just kind of simplify it and pretty much check range here. There's a deuce there, so maybe that increases your c bet percentage. But
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
Okay. Let me see. Molten Ashes. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts
what
here?
up?
Because this is interesting. I think naturally, intuitively in game, if you're unstudied in this spot and you have something like pocket sevens, eights, nines, it's important to ask ourselves, like, is it going to be worthwhile to c bet? And does this board fall in line with the full check? It is 3 low cards, but it's 3 low cards. It's rainbow and it's a deuce out there. So would you find a c bet with any of your overpairs here?
Probably villain dependent actually.
Well, the villain is GTO. We don't know anything. He's GTO.
Okay.
That's how we need to think of it, at least
Well,
here.
yeah, I'll probably mix sevens, eights, and nines.
Okay.
Like, if I had to choose an option, I still check. I still would choose check
Okay.
if I only could use one option because I know checking can't be bad because we're
Right.
checking 90% of our range. But
none of the low card boards had a very good spike. So good observation.
but yeah, I mean mixing 7, 8s, 9s for small just to deny equity from what Jack 10 of clubs. I think it's great some portion of the time.
Yeah, I mean, and this is good to look at. I mean, these are the kind of spots we need to study, and then we need to ask ourselves, is that going to be the best option even versus population? Looking at the big blinds fighting range, it does look like most people are kind of gonna play fairly close to that strategy. It feels pretty close to accomplished. Some people probably flat wider and 3-bet less, right? So we're going to check this and then take a look at see what we're doing with our overpair. I think it's a very good question. You can bet this. It is not the devoid of a good play. And that's good to see. So seeing this, imagine we're going to be able to mix. Go back here. And small blind. Aces, kings, queens, jacks, 9s, 8s, 7s. To mix your overpair here, and it's not bad. Here we go. 50% with your 9s, 50-50 with the 8s, and it gets a little bit less here. Your bluffs are coming from your suited 8s with a backdoor flush draw that are kind of near the bottom of their range. You can fold out some ace, offsuit ace X, king X, and villains range, right?
Why 8s?
It's going to be folding out some offsuit 9X, King X. I mean, better, right? It's going to be folding out Ace X, King X, and we're going to get barrel opportunities. It's not really good enough to show down. And it can make some fold equity. We'll see that from the bottom of the range type stuff a lot. I have seen this before. Kind of surprised that more, well, these have too much equity. These gut shots you can just call. Okay.
What
These
is
are just
roll
better.
over? Can you roll over like the Jack 9, Jack 8? What is the one suit that's clubs, right?
Yeah, just
clubs
clubs.
are-
Everything with the backdoor
Yep.
flush draw is going to be able to barrel turns as a bluff as well and pick up equity, right? These are going to be able to pick up some equity, turn some double gutties, overs, backdoor flush draws, and continue bluffing. But overall, let's go back and play the spot. It's good to see this. And if you do just want to have a check strategy on this board, every hand mixes checked. You're not going to be making a mistake. But you need to know how to play turns when we get into the spot and not overfold, right? So
Yeah.
we check.
And if he bets, we never fold him. Right? Oh, sorry.
Cheat.
Yep. This is a pretty good hand, I think, that we can check raise with, although I would rather have one of the suits. But I think I would probably choose this hand specifically to check raise here. So I'm going to raise.
So
I
you're
just don't
check
think,
raising all your gut shots with the over, even without the suit.
yeah, it's probably like I said, the clubs probably don't like it as much. Maybe GTO hates it, but I'm gonna choose raise. The sizing though is why I always get the sizing. I never know where to go. Every time I review my hands, I'm always in between the GTO sizes. Like it says 9 and 15. Like I might go to like 11 here or something. You know what I mean? Like I never
Yeah,
know
I do
what
the same thing actually.
So you guys are choosing to play not theoretically sound in these spots. Interesting.
Yeah, because
You're choosing to play off theory. Great. Love to
We
hear
have
it. That's
rejected our
good.
computer overlords.
Yeah, like I'm not doing what you tell me to do. I do what I want.
We're like Keanu
I'm
Reeves
better
in the
than you.
Matrix.
so
I want
king
to
three
set
is
up the awkward SPR. All right.
probably better as a call, but I'm choosing raise here because that's probably what I would have done in game, and I'm gonna go.
Keep it. Yeah, you're keeping it real. It's fine. I think like it's probably gonna maybe want to have more equity, right? Like we're certainly never folding, right? Any folds? Molten's just calling, but like I would just be more on team call with the clubs and check raising the other back doors to continue a little bit more. But let's see if it wants to do this. No fold. I'm on team call. Never folds. Let's go ahead and go the 9 or 15.
9 is probably where I'd land if I had these
Little
choices.
bit. And now it's important. And guess what? I like that, Mike. You're not making a mistake. And I guess in game, people are just going to overstab on this board as well with no plan and just stab almost their entire range, right? I'm going to go back and look at it, but let's keep a nice little game flow and play the hand.
Boom.
Yeah, nice boom. Yeah, sweet.
What a
These are
crap
the
card.
spots. Yeah, look how many options you have here. Great.
Um, it's bittersweet here. I'm not sure now that we actually improved. Probably just gonna check.
Moulton's going 33. Check for Moulton. You're the only person betting. Sola. I probably check here, huh? You ever stab small?
Yeah, I don't think I lead this bad.
What size would you bet?
Small.
Yeah, just the 33 option.
But
Just
I
fold
wouldn't
out
do
the
it
air
pure.
floats. Yeah, I mean, we probably will have some ace high he folds out. Maybe whatever backdoor diamonds and spades he folds, but we're really folding out ace high and then kind of float like that. Habs comes in, dropping a nuke with 75. Hilarious. Just really repping it for one more. I'd almost be on team knit or small. Feeling like we just do get some folds with 33, but Mike is Snapchat. If you're gonna do anything, do this. Everything else is a nuke. Feeling like if you got somebody aggressive here going small makes some sense, but Mike nailing it. You need to pick up more equity. This has showdown value, right?
Yeah.
Turning a marginal made hand into a bluff. We're gonna go back and review this hand as well.
Fold.
Now let's go see. I gotta let people make their decision, right? I don't know if you're gonna punt or say all in or something. So, full. Everybody's just done. Been raised. I'm gonna see the hand. All right. Let's go back to the turn. So let's see if we check raise versus 3. Woo! Should be going big a lot on this board. Your villains will go 33% only in game in this spot.
And our king 3 suited. Let's just see what the suits did with it.
The
He
other
does it.
one's
King 3 checks the
more.
most. Great.
Yeah, we knew this. He knew he was making this slight mistake when he did this shit. He knew it. He even said it out loud. Don't go against theory. Mixing check raise which are overpaired. They're not even pure queens, king. Look at aces and kings. Not check raising kings on this board. All right. Your gut shots with the backdoor flush draw. Yeah, we see those same characteristics as our lower gut shots with an over as well. Those can go kind of crazy. The nuts. And
Why is
And
a hand
open-ended is too much. Open-ended doesn't want to get bet off it.
so a hand like Jack 9 suited, Jack 8 suited, Queen 9 suited, they're all continuing no matter what. Oh, never mind. Okay. I didn't see the little blue thing. Okay, those are backdoor
Yeah.
flush.
Yeah. 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw.
I missed. I thought they were still even doing clubs, but they're not. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could just decide to call as well. If we check, they go 3. These are just mixing check, raise, or call. Hell no, they're not folding. It'd be way too tight to fold king 8. This small. I mean, come on, we can't fold anything with 2 overs and a backdoor flush draw.
And it wasn't even small. He bet 50%.
Oh yeah, it's 50. I mean, it's small relative to the size of the pot, but yeah, it's 50%.
Yeah.
Still never folding.
Yep.
All right.
And 7-5 suited doesn't check raise. That's my biggest takeaway.
Too good.
Too good.
8-5 does, but yeah, 7-5 does not. Let's get to the turn really quick before we move on to the next hand. And see, there was a lot of griefing going on for follow. Done. So yeah. Oh, that's after we check raised, and then here, here's how we follow through, guys. Wondering what you do here on this 3 turn, you're done.
You need the 7-8.
It's three. It's 3%, and that
And
7-8 has to have a heart. I guarantee it. You better have 7-8 with a heart. Oh, some of the other ones. Oh, 7-8. This one does not. Some of these don't, but everyone that does something. Funny. Oh man, this is brutal.
Yeah.
So you don't get to play the game anymore. A blank. Ah, that's what just some kind of random brick on the turn. You have to go ape shit. This is the kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
King 3
Your
continues.
king 3. Yeah, your king 3 just goes ham, right? And I think people would be missing this. Wanted to find some kind of brick that I think we would need to do something with. I mean, yeah. Any of these turn bricks, I mean, where you just go ham. Yeah.
Because the equity changed a lot with the 9 on the turn. And now the
No.
arrow.
All the low cards. I bet if we put a jack out there, maybe it starts to not go as crazy. But anything, it's all the low cards under a 10 and under. Is generally the kind of spot where it's really good for our range when we check raise. Like when we put a queen out there, it's going to slow down even more. It's all right for us. The queen isn't as bad. Obviously, king and ace.
When the 6 pairs.
The 6 pairs. Here you go. Badge.
Just put a jack
Badge.
of club.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, jack. I mean, you're looking for bets. It's going to be like that middling region we just showed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 10 is just like a perfect card, like 50-50. But yeah, I want to move on, but I can't help myself. I want to just see. Yeah. These kind of cards, these middling, you just go. But this is still 40%. But
No, the king. We bet even more.
yeah. Oh, the king, yeah, it's probably good
King
for
we
us.
bet more often than the 10.
Yeah. Mike, go.
Ready? Well, we know checking is always going to be a correct answer. But this flop here probably gets some big bets if you wanted it, but checking is going to be the default here. This hand in particular, I think, is a check.
What are you doing with your ace, jack, the ace, king? You mixing bet there? And if so, what size? Ace, jack, ace, king, ace, queen, both suits. Not suited, but like ace of spades, king of hearts, all that stuff. Would you ever mix bet?
Yes, and more so than this hand. So, but not much more. I would say mix it with a 30-70, like a 30% C bet.
You betting queen, jack a bit more? And if so, what size? Queen of spades, jack of diamonds. What are you doing?
Seems 33 is always going to be like kind of a safe choice, but I think you can start getting 50s in with the cards that kind of wrap around that 10.
I like the way your brain's thinking now. So when we have the queen, jack, queen, 9, offsuit, offsuit 9s are the bottom of our opening range here. So I think we're gonna have some queen 9 here. Queen of spades, 9 of hearts, queen jack with both suits. What are we doing with king jack, right? Are those going to ever mix 50s and 75s as a bomb rather than autopilot 33? Of course, check is going to be the safe option, but some of these boards, that's where I start to tailor my game and ask myself a question. Do I want to start barreling? Because we're going to get enough turn cards to make his life hell, right? And have a strong uncapped range. So we're going to check this 100% with this ace high. Very good call out. And then ask ourselves those tough questions about those other portions of our range. Here it is. The king queens, the king jack. We do not use the queen 9.
And you do not.
Agree for it. You can mix Queen,
This
Jack
is a
O.
big bet board, though. I was wrong.
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna make some 50s and 75. So the things that wrap the two overs to this, I would be sitting here with King Jack, like I'm probably gonna bomb it like half the time or something, probably too much. So I was asking about King of Spades, Queen, Jack of Diamonds, this kind of stuff, right? The Queen,
Mm.
Jack, Queen of Spades, Jack of Diamonds. What am I gonna do? Big, right? At least it's there. We can. You don't always have to check these spots, man. You guys got to think about being aggressive because when you get jacks and tens here, you can also still just go big. We don't want to have we don't want to develop a league where we're just always passive here, but we also don't want to be always aggressive. We want to be balanced. I do suggest maybe RNGing if you're online, or if you have a read on opponent, or if you think the population plays too passively, fuck them up and open every time. This is where you got to be a poker player. We can't always know to play at equilibrium unless you're going to sit there and use an RNG versus everybody. But outside of that, to exploit and get a feel for your opponent behind is how you make the most money. Watching them. Are they going to overfold? Are they going to be really sticky in these spots?
The worst on the flop most of the time on a board like this, they're gonna see a lot of bluff in your range. So when you have when you have an ace high like this, you can almost bet for value.
Versus some opponents, if you feel like that, I mean, like these ranges versus the solver, like this is versus a solver. You're playing versus a human. We're just trying to learn a nice baseline. We study this for our baseline. It's going to be up to you guys to get outside of the box, either a tick or two versus your human counterparts who are making mistakes. You ever stabbing this or taking your ace to the river?
Because I have ace high, it's I'm gonna bet this card though, but I think this likes checking, like GTO, like Wizard's probably gonna like checking a lot, just kind of taking your ace high and getting to showdown. But this card I think is actually pretty decent because I mean we block 10-9, Jack 9. So I would probably bet this card and I would go with a 75.
What are you trying to fold out?
That's good. Good point. Good point.
I'm just asking. No, I mean, when you
Yeah.
bet, you have to have a reason. Are you getting better to call? Are you getting
Fives.
worse hands to fold?
Well, you can get fives, fours, pairs that are, in that 6, 7, 8 range kind of thing.
Okay, at least you give me a reason. If you're gonna do something like bet and with these kind of hands in these spots, I just want to know why.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Is it enough of a range to try to get the fold out? You're getting better to fold.
Yep.
Okay, get some better hands to fold, like some pairs. There's not too many better ace highs you get to fold out, so you're just literally folding out some pairs, and then the hands you beat that have king high, queen high, and stuff like that with equity denial. So you want to bet this for equity denial and to fold out some pairs. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else betting?
But
And to be honest, you also want to bet because you're afraid to be bluffed off the hand, right? I mean, that's one of the reasons you're betting, isn't it? I'm not saying it's a good reason. I'm saying,
No, I was
isn't that one of your
like,
reasons?
the solver doesn't do that because of that.
No, I didn't. No, I'm asking Mike. I'm asking Mike that
no,
in game.
you're right. That's kind of does play into into the old
Yeah.
meta, right?
Yes. So let's maybe if it's the wrong reason, let's get it out of there. But
Yeah. After all that,
I'm not letting you
it's
do
hands
it.
with you.
I'm not letting you do it. I can't let you do it. It's a mistake. It's
Yeah.
just you can't do it. Even with the reasoning, it just like it's not good enough reasons. This
Yeah.
has showdown. You're turning a showdown hand value into a bluff where you're not going to get better ace highs to fold. This had like if you have maybe ace deuce, ace three with a gust shot, you can make ace 6, 7, 8, 9 fold. You could potentially get those hands to fold.
Yep.
Right. Like
Yeah.
that's an extra. You can get some more ace highs to fold as well. But this is like I can't let you do. It's just a mistake. We need to be taking these ones into check.
Also,
Like
the one
look,
that you
like
that-
even only ace three. And I was saying we don't have ace deuce. Ace four is a pair, ace five is a pair. So it's literally if you had ace deuce here, you would need to fucking bluff it.
and you bluff a huge.
No, you have ace deuce suited. This is what I'm saying, and that's gonna make all these other ace X indifferent. Even those 5x and 4x now are indifferent as hell, and you go gigantic.
75.
Almost 300%.
Wow!
275. Look at the size.
He
It just goes,
checked.
it just goes 2-y, I guess.
Well, it went check, check, flop. If Joey was here, Joey's really good at this spot. Anytime it goes check, check, get polar. And this is something you're gonna see a lot.
Mega polar.
I do this in
Yeah.
tournaments all the time. It goes check, check, 125, 150% pop.
Yeah, but this is 275.
But I mean, in tournaments, we're never 100 bigs deep.
Yeah, I'm just saying, guys,
You know?
I'm agreeing with
Yeah.
the polar. I just didn't realize that polar.
Yeah, a big ass button. Just roll it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
blind versus
So
blind is
go.
kind of the Wild West.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you just review the small blind flop betting strategy again? I just want to know what we did with our backdoor flush draws and overcards.
Yes, sir. So we go here to the flop. Backdoor flush draw and 2 overs from the small blind. It's our option. We have for instance, you want to know like queen, king, jack suited, king, queen suited. It's a 50-50, brother. But when you do bet,
Okay.
you can overbet c-bet. Something I don't think is ever utilized. I think most people autopilot their big bet is 50, 75, but you can mix really big bets here. But just know that you're not going small with these 2 overs in a backdoor flush draw. You're
Okay.
not like it shows 6%. It shows like these, but it's least favorite option for a bet size.
Yeah.
Like you're just
And
gonna be
same-
doing these way more
Okay.
in these spots. Here, this will give you a clearer picture, like what you're doing with these 2 overs. Even your king jack with 2 suits,
Yeah.
king
big
queen
bets.
with the
Okay.
suits, it's big bets. Yep. Put it all back in there. But you can get a little tricky in check as well. If somebody's sticky, making your life hell, they don't fold barrel. I don't know. You'll get a feel for your opponents and how sticky and how they'll be continuing or aggressive they are, and decide if it's going to be a better check option. Is this going to be a good player to bet? Is he not going to bet enough future streets, or is he going to bet too much on the turn? So I'm going to cap my range versus this kind of guy. So, did anyone else want to see anything else with? Oh, we played the hand.
We check and
Seen what he
does yet.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, I even said it out loud. I said it wants to check, but then
Mike,
my
you have a
small
weird
blind
leak.
has been so freaking bad that I thought I'd better go against my gut.
No, you're starting to have that's a couple of times I've heard this weird little leak where you're going against what's correct, but you know the correct move.
And then this is a check.
Easy. I'm glad you just came to the conclusion there. No fucking around. Nothing tricky. Fine.
And
We
win.
played there. Yeah, we lose. Here's a 4.
Oh,
Oh, we would have won the hand if we would have bet.
Not you think the solver's just gonna fold to your little 33% stab?
I said 75.
Nope.
I don't think ace-4 is folding to 75.
It might not. I mean, I wish we
I actually
could.
think ace-4 might actually call down.
Oh man, I went. Please,
Oh,
hit
it's gonna
the
give us-
others.
it's gonna give us a new hand.
Please. It gave him a new hand.
Blunder.
Oh baby, give
Click
him
the
a
blunder.
set. Give him a set, and it's a blunder. Yes. Now what you gonna do?
Check.
Now you just give up.
Oh, well, now that we did
It's
that, I
busted.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. And he hit you at a half pot. You gonna bluff it off?
You have to go.
Jam. No. Oh, now we're shit.
You
No,
put
fold.
you wasted all our time to do this to make
I'm
a
folding.
mistake, a blunder, and please show down a bluff. Right. Golly.
Well, that's a
The
clear
solver
call. The
just-
ace-4.
Actually just spanked you.
But these ISI bluff catchers are often
He
in
had a double gutter.
Mess with the best, die like the rest. Last one, Mike. And then
All
we'll
right.
pass the mic.
Well, this is one that we kind of looked at. Of course, we know checking's fine. This one's going to give us some more betting. This is a really good hand to be able to check and maybe even raise. So let's check. But you
Check.
mix bets here.
You do mix, at least you acknowledge. And what size, if you were going to mix bet here, would you choose?
Oh, you could use them all, but you can go all the way up to 125, I bet.
Hey, he says it. 7-8 is completed equity, which he has in his range. So I wonder if that's not in there as much since the last hand you ran into 7-8. You remember that?
Yep, you're right.
Uh-huh. So I don't know, maybe more 75-50 checking. I think all the options can be reasonable outside of 20-35. When 7-8's out there, that might be a little less. What are your thoughts here, Matthew?
Mix, check and bet 33, flip a coin.
Or 33. Setup's going 50. Titan?
I like 50.
50. More bigger bets. Team Matthew, Scotty says, check or
Smaller
small?
bets because there's locked up equity.
And we have people wanting to go giant. And Mike, what size did you say, buddy?
Well, I said I
Oh,
was
you
going to
said check.
check.
None of this. Yes, you can mix all this, but check Slovakia. I want to change this 6 to a 5 and show you how much more we betting. 5, 4, 3 deuce. We probably go ham.
And we
A
bet
6, yeah. But when this 6 is out there and your ass just ran in this 7-8, like he just has it in his range, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the completed equity. We'll look at overall betting strategy here as well, but let's play the hand. I feel like it's better that way.
Oh,
Oh,
too bad.
piss. And no spade.
It kind of sucks when they don't go with your plan.
Nope.
But this is it goes check, check, right? And we know the heuristic is oftentimes to get polar, but this probably isn't the board to be polar on. I'm just going to check here, actually.
Checking again. Okay. Set halves with the 125. Molten going 33. Oh, we got a new face. Anna, what size would you bet here? Any big betting? We checking? You can type in chat, unmute, or lurk. It's all good. Jan, what are you doing here? Check, check, check. Molten checking. Molten going 33. Skate. Would you bet this, or you feel like you're going to just try to get the showdown, check, call, and then make it about reevaluate?
I think I want to realize equity with this hand. If I had 2 spades in my hand, I would maybe more bet than check, but with this combo, I would lean more check than bet.
And not having a spade is important. Damn, Skate, you out there articulating yourself well, carrying yourself well out there. You must be crushing life right now. Sounds good.
No, I'm just learning from the best from you guys.
Hey. All right, check calling up to pot, he says. Look at this. 50%. Having a club is good to bet as well, though. Check, check, check. 33. 75. Set habs. Your 125 is a little bit too big. You got to go 75 if you're going to bluff it off. It's not even a bluff. It's just a nice semi bluff, right? It's nice.
No, I have the equity for the nuts.
Would you ever check raise here, Mike? Be honest.
No, I don't think I would. I would just call here.
Same. Check call 100%. Set habs. Are you saying raise to 100%? Let me see. Why shouldn't he check back with air and check call more with air with? What are you saying? So I'm sorry, so I can make sure. Are you answering him? Having the club is good as well. I'm sorry. Feel free to unmute if you have. I was trying to understand your question. If you had something, I'm not sure I understand the context. I reckon you call with 4 to a straight. Mike, you said call?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I would just call as well, but guess you could. Check raise. And that's a bit more than you can just play so aggressively in these spots. Great. Bing.
Let's see. So the action is what kind of makes me wonder what to do. He bet a third. And this is obviously a pretty bad card for his range. And a better card for our range, just with the number of kings and better kings that we kind
There's
of
a
play.
4-line out here. He just is going to bet at 8 for value every single time. I mean,
Well,
only
it-
thing that really got there is just like fucking Queen Jack and some Jack 8 and stuff we already had, but he could still get value from a lot of 2-pair and stuff. We're thinking of like monsters under the bet.
Yeah, but does he just bet a third with an 8 on the turn there? Like he would go big, I would imagine. So I just like a really big bet here.
As a
Like,
lead
it's
big.
lead. Me?
Lead, yeah.
Yeah, me betting big, me.
Me bet big. What size? How big?
I thought you said that's a leak. I'm sorry.
No. I said that's a lead. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably just go big here. I'd go, and I always choose like that 125 kind of size when I overbet, but you can probably just cram it in here. So I would choose 135 and
Anybody else leading?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
2. That's 3.
because he's not betting his 2 pairs anymore. After I called once, he's gonna check behind and take it, and there's gonna be no
Overbet
more.
leads.
And he's probably betting an 8, but he's calling all his 8s.
Yeah.
And
That's
he
why.
never folds a 2-pair, stuff like that. We might have some backdoor spade bluffs. We might want to lead here as well at some frequency. With the ace at yeah. I don't know. It seems interesting.
I think in the solver world, we're gonna have some checks here. I mean, I think
It could lead some. I would
think
check. but
donks are
that's it.
fine against population, but I think solver is gonna check at some
I
frequency.
feel like
It's a tough spot.
it really
I'd
is.
be-
I would check. I mean, that's why I was interested in hearing your guys' thoughts behind betting and getting
What-
more context a little bit more. I can understand why you think he would check back. I think it would be a good reason for him to bet even a little bit more, but I don't know. He went small.
One thing
Uh,
I'd like to say is that against population, I think checking is by far the best option. And the reason is because I think if BB has 8x, he's going to bet. But I think they overcall versus a check raise. I think 8x should start mixing fold versus like a check raise, a big check raise. But I don't think population folds in 8 enough.
Yeah,
And
They
you have a
don't
good point. I
fall.
think humans to get married to their hand.
Yeah, blocking small to get him to induce and raise. If you go one of the small options like this, does he ever
Yeah.
raise as a bluff?
Yeah,
I
this is
kind of
one where
like
it's hard
lead
for me to
small, then leave
isolate.
it. I don't know. It's really a cool spot. Mike, you were
It's hard-
leading? Big.
yeah, 135.
Go ahead, Matthew. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, sorry. It's hard for me to isolate solver world from real world. In real world, my experience has been checking with the plan to check raise on the river is generally not EV unless you have a really strong reason to think they're going to bet. So I'm leading this.
What size would you lead, Matthew? Big as well?
I'd lead. It's probably 75, but since that's not an option, 60.
Okay. Everybody,
Oh,
Rob.
wow.
Wait a minute. Who do a high five? Which one was saying check with me? Larry. There
Right
we go,
back at you.
brother.
Right? Yeah.
Bang.
Virtual high.
Dude, I
virtual
couldn't
high
see
five.
it. I couldn't see it. I mean, I was asking because the biggest thought here is like when you're leading into a 4-line board into an uncapped range, do you have a bluff? And should you have a bluff? Into a fucking range that has all the 2-pair, all the straights, and you're leading into a range that seems uncapped with no bluffs, and it's like that has the nuts. They have Queen Jack and 8x and 2-pair. So when you lead, you probably just get called too much. And do you actually should you be bluffing? And should
No.
you in that range is too strong behind? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. It's super interesting. I mean, that's why I wanted to hear why everybody was leading. I wanted to hear the thoughts behind it. Like, but I want to see if we have a leading range. Let's instantly look at that. Maybe we just don't have the right hand. Maybe it's just not the right hand.
Okay.
Nope, just not the right hand. You need to fucking have it or just have some of these lose.
I mean, it's almost just noise, right? It's like 2%
It's
of range.
1%, like, yeah, and if you had the full weight here, it's
Man.
2%. No
Yes.
leads. No leads. And then when it does, it's just only tiny 10
on.
dude. So we all just punt. No creative shit, just check and let him spew. Boom!
Thank you, Spew.
Andy overbets. What, Mike? Finish her off. What are you gonna end up
mean-
on Twitter as just calling with the nuts? And look
He's
at this idiot.
representing he's got it or he doesn't have anything. So rip it in.
I mean, there's only one player. Got him. He just folds the 4-liner. Like, I'm done. I believe you. That's awesome.
So yeah, I think Moulton was saying, humans are going to have a hard time. They're going to be able to level themselves into calls sometimes here.
Yeah, but
So-
you've made less money.
Well, no. So Moulton was saying check, and then hope for the bet, and then we get to check jam,
Yes.
and like solver. Yeah, like solver.
Oh, they're gonna call him. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The people in real life are going to make the mistake, hit call, sit out, and go watch TV. Somebody's gonna hit call, like, I think I'm running kind of bad. Oh, I ran into it again. I'm done. Like, people are just gonna be mentally fatigued at proportions and then make mistakes and call this off. I can't fold with the chop out there. I got a quarter of my stack out there. Boom, gone.
Yep.
Right? The
Yeah, they
solver
level
is never
themselves into the.
gonna. Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, it's only queen jack that beats me. I chop a lot. You know.
Yeah, he's gonna have ace 8, blah blah blah, 8, 9, 8, 6, 8, and all those kind of hands here, and feel like I can't fold to the chop. Boom, dead. Right? That's gonna happen at the low stakes every time. Of like more than 50% of the time, way more than 50% of the time, people are gonna talk themselves into a call with king 8, unless they're fresh, playing well, and they're a reg. Cool. Let's mix up the parameters. That went obviously way longer than I wanted. Let's mix up the parameters a little bit and call on Mike. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Some boss shit. Well done. Flush draw. Yeah, this is about to get hard. Flush draw now, just flush draw boards. And then Titan. Let's play a couple hands, brother.
Okay.
You've raised.
Okay.
Small
Okay.
blind call. You have the ace of spades. When king, queen, 3. See better now.
Yeah, 33%. Without the spade, I don't want to bet.
So you would just open an autopilot small. King, queen, X. You have the ace of spades. Probably not a mistake. Would you ever go bigger than this? Like, do you have any big bets? Do you bet your ace 10, ace jack with the spade offsuit, ace 9 with the spade? More so asking about the ace 10, ace jack. You know what I'm saying? Offsuit with the single spade. Do you mix big bet with those? Or just 33%?
The only reason I like the small bet and the only reason I like betting this ace 5 with the spade is because I don't always want to be betting for value, and I like having the ace of spades because I have backdoor draws to the nuts. So this is the only reason that I'm betting this ace 5 and not checking it. But it's probably too small because everyone else is saying to go big. But I'll go with what I said was I'll go 33 because that was what hey, this is something I want to work on. Okay, cool.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
good.
this was one of the bluffs that I wanted to be betting. I mean, it's a bluff, right? I mean,
And these kind of bluffs are going to be better on these. Not better, but
Sorry.
maybe you don't redline enough and you get yourself in spots by just going to. And it's okay. You're not making a mistake. You're playing a lot of tables of these cash and you just 33. It's not a mistake, but you can. And I will challenge you to mix in some 125s occasionally, especially as an online player. Like what I was asking you about the ace 10s, the ace jack with a spade. Those are checking fucking way more. I thought these would be going crazier.
Too good.
Too
You probably
good.
don't want to
And
get
then
check
you want to
raised
get
off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are way because they're gonna still have too many King X, Queen X combos.
Yeah, I like them checking with the ace 10, ace jack, because if you bet it and then you get raised, you're just in kind of like
I
a
gotta
way
take
worse
this call
spot than
one
when you have
second.
ace 5.
If you have it, you can so easily call a bet with the ace 10, ace jack if you want. And you have showdown, even if you don't hit any of your things.
Are you happy when you get check raised with the ace 10, ace jack with one
You're not
spade?
happy. You're gonna call.
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You could-
Whereas you bet the
So
ace
you
3, you bet the what was ours? Ace 5. You bet the ace 5 and you get check raised. You can fold, I think.
so do you like check raising the ace jack, the ace 10? Or are you gonna be, or do you
Oh,
like checking it, or do you like betting it?
I like checking it. For
Okay.
what the solver said, at first I was with you that bet the ace jack ace 10 more often. And when I saw it in the solver, the logic I put behind it was, yeah, because I can easily call a bet with it. And if it does go check, check, I actually have showdown on it more than I have with the ace 5 that you're betting. So I like the ace 5 bet more than the ace 10 now that I've seen that it's right. You're on mute.
All right, yep, we're back. Sorry. Yeah, you actually get put in hell when you when you bet with these, right? And look how much you're betting. 6.66. Nice. All right, let him play this hand. We'll do this. Go ahead, Titan.
I think stacks are still pretty deep, and I think we do have a little bit of value in our betting range. So I want to bet 50 or 75.
50, 75. Some people are checking. What are you trying to do? What are you folding out with this bet?
If I bet 75, I guess I want to fold out some queen X. And we are kind of blocking spade draws a little bit. I do like betting. Like, I think somebody just said that we picked up a little bit of equity. So I do like betting here with the intention of folding if we get raised. So I want to continue with this combo here. Because we didn't pick up a pair. I like betting 50 or 75. I'm gonna lean towards 75.
Okay. Folding out better A side 3x, pairs lower than a 10. Backdoor heart draws, some were spade draws, even though we have the ace of spades. Lot of ambition for wanting to bet. I would be checking, but let's see. This is one of our worst ace X. It is near the bottom of our range. We do have a spade. So when a spade comes, one thing I was hoping you would say, when the spade comes on a river, you have to fucking bluff it, right? So we're using this to continue bluffing river, like when a spade comes a lot. So you're going 50 or 75, sir?
75. I mean,
Czechoslovakian.
no.
I wouldn't be using this, but I was, not seeing every single turn in the game. It is near the bottom. I guess it could, but it feels bad. You're gonna have more equity. And when I asked you what you're trying to fold out, and you spoke for like 7 seconds and then talked about how you picked up equity, that's not a good sign. It's like his
Yeah.
continue range is and in real life, people's continuing range is gonna be pretty strong. So small blind turn. So it's near the bottom, but it's not. This is ace 4. Using ace 3 as a bluff is nasty. Ace 5, no spade, no ace of spades.
Yeah.
You don't want to have the spade, especially you want to be able to fold out flush draws. But Yeah, you need to be able to fold out the ace of spades. A little bit of 33. This is a tough ass spot, man. Don't feel bad. Look at this. This is not an easy strategy. Using a lot of your Jack X, mixing with that. A lot of your Queen X checking until you get to near the top with the best. Mixing with the King High, the Ace X are actually going to ape shit, but those are all the spades continuing the bet for the most part. Let's get up here. It's a tough spot.
So I'm guessing river, we need to re-answer for 50 since will it have, I don't know how this thing works. So since we put 75, when it goes to the river, everything's going to be.
No,
Okay.
I give you the
That's
next
fair.
lowest bet size option that's applicable. So you're going 50. Take them down.
Oh, the
For
queen.
Queen 7, you folded out a queen by going bigger. For the people who would check here. Oh, well, we get there. Titan, you decided to check in another universe, in another dimension. You checked. Now you're here with the straight. Would you lead or check raise?
He just checked back, so I'm gonna lead, try to get a little bit of value, and just bet 60.
Bet 60, bet 60. Do you have a bluff when you're betting into a 4-line board into a big blind range that has all the ace X, a lot of ace X?
No,
What-
I think you just answered my question. You just answered my question, so no.
Let's see though. I mean, I wonder if Silver would ever just want to go big as hell here and just turn your hand face up, or would you ever want to go small? 60 seems like the next best size I would use. I don't think we can do this shit. Can we? We can't go. Can't do this. It would have to be one of these 3 options. It has to be maybe this. Yeah, it has to be this. It's the only thing that makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. You can't go over bet. Checking feels like you're going to lose value. He needs to call with 2 pair. And when you're going to bet, going a quarter doesn't feel like enough.
So what
But
is the
gotta
so I
read
was
it.
thinking, like, if we wanted to bomb this, like, what is the
Yeah.
significance of us bombing it, like, if it being bad, because then he can't go crazy? Like, should we even be thinking about that? Like, oh,
Yes. You're going
betting
to start
60 is
folding out
great
2
because he
pair.
can go crazy.
You don't want to only get him to call with a chop. You start overbetting or potting, he's only calling with the fucking ace. You
Okay.
overbet 300%, he's folding a 9. So think about that. You've lost 6 big blind. You've lost value for sure. When you get to a point where it becomes blunderish, right? 300% pot is ridiculous. I guess in your games you might be able to get a human to call with the 9 for 135. The solver probably might even overfold here. That's why this is the only bet that makes a lot of sense. Like,
What bluff goes with that bet? I mean, that's the other reason we have so few bluffs, we can't bet bigger, but we have to have some, and I can't think of what they are.
yeah, I don't want to over 35 with 135 with the bluff out of position here. Hell
I know,
no.
but what are we bluffing 60 with even? There's a bluff there. I just
Hell
don't
yeah,
know
there's
what it
some
is.
bluffs. Every twos, fucking all this
Okay.
shit. Damn. Yeah, it's just going for it.
9s don't even count as a bluff necessarily.
Nah. It's merging.
It's the 8-7. It's just every
2s, 3s, 4s. All right, more hands. More hands. Then I gotta take a break after this next hand. What am I doing? Sweet. All right, Titan. Ace, Jack X, 10, 5. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, OPP. This is where you shine.
Check.
Said Habs, what are you doing here?
Here, with the backdoor flush draw, it's a bet. With the ace, with us, with the raising edge, it's gonna be even bigger. So I'll go something like 50 or 75. I tend to go 50
Okay.
on the
50 or
first three.
75. Mike says check or bet 125. You weren't here earlier, said Habs. We had studied this spot at a position. Small blind versus big blind. We looked at all the flop texture and c-bet sizes. And one thing we noticed on Jack, Ace Jack X, Ace King X, Ace Queen X, polar, big. So I'm wondering if this falls into the category of being able to mix 125 and check maybe a little bit of 75 in there as well. But I imagine maybe we get to just bomb this and find some good double barrels. It is near the bottom of our range, but we can apply some pressure. So I'm wondering if we want to use this or if this is a little bit too weak for 125. Titan, you said you were going
Check.
yeah, it's a little bit too weak. 75.
Big.
Here's the board. We're just gonna use way better shit, right? Yeah, here, like, look at our betting strategy. 125. And your 10-5 needs just the fucking flush draw to do it. The really weak stuff that we're gonna use, like, we just need more equity. 8-9 of hearts. The 8-9, the gut shots, the direct gut shots. This stuff is too weak unless you have a flush draw. God, I would punt. Ten eight with the heart, 10-8 with the spade, all the 10-8s. King 7. All your under pairs as well. Specifically, when you have a spade, you're gonna go pretty crazy with the spade and the under pairs, of course. Your sets are never checking, so good call. Queen, I like 125 with Queen 5 of hearts. Someone says that would be grief. I was with you with the 10-5 a little bit. Oh my goodness. Now what?
So pick up some equity. He checked back.
Yes, sir.
He's gonna have like a couple of jack X, I think. I think he might even have a little bit of weak ace. I like checking or betting pretty big. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, no, I want to say 125, but I feel like this is one of our worst flush draw combos here. Look, can I say I'm going to say 125.
Overbetting. He did. He found the overbet. I'm wondering if the gut shots with the king 10, the king queen of hearts and spades also mix. I wonder if this is 275, 175, 275. I'm kind of agreeing we may need to go really polar. One characteristic I think here is him checking back. And him probably betting some of his best value hands in the backseat here, which he should be betting his ace jacks, in some of the top portion of his range. He also does mix some ace X, but
I think I just said 125 because I've never overbet more than that. So
no, it's
yeah.
good, man. Look at this, brother. Like, it's good to have this in your game a little bit. And 50 is the most utilized bet and the best answer, but it is good to see you getting outside of your comfort zone and using some bigger bets. You 275% Canadian savages out there. It's okay. Just, it's all the Canadians, man. You guys are insane, but I get it. You can go big. I probably would have went somewhere in this region as well, to be honest. But sticky solver, got him. It's good. Let's look at our bet sizing as a whole here on a turn. Then we'll take a quick break. I'm going to come back and look at a few more boards as well. And then we still have marked hands that we can do. Let's go ahead and on the turn here for when we went 125. Beautiful. Uh, 10-5, all these weak non-showdown hands with combo draws or flush draws, we're just going big and polar. It does mix a little bit of small, but overall it's going pretty big in this spot. 125 plus. I was asking about these kind of combo draws are too good. Look at this. The king 10 of spades and hearts. King queen of spades and hearts. These are checking.
That's what was going through my mind. I was like, this is such a shitty flush draw. I like betting big with this shitty flush draw.
Yeah, the
That's
very
his
good
thing.
ones, the combo draws with the other equity. And then sometimes I feel like as a newer player, you get in these spots and it feels kind of counterintuitive because it feels so good. You just want to build the pot with King, Queen of Spades and a royal flush draw, you know? King, Jack of Spades, royal flush draw in these hands, but they really prefer to check in some of these weaker ones with no showdown value and don't really mind getting check raised, just go big. These 10-8s, 9-8, 9-8. Good. 9-8 was a big bet on the flop mixing, and you get to the turn with it, you go again. Two
The
pair.
don't really mind check raising phrase is kind of, I feel like that's helped me a lot in my thought process. Like I love picking hands that I can bet and easily fold, and then taking hands that have more showdown value and checking with them.
Just like it's just found money, right? When you get folds and you win with those hands, right? It's just found money. And then you pick up equity, which are really good hands, and they're the perfect bluff catchers, and they still have showdown value, right? They have a lot of equity. So it's a very fun game to play. And you just start to realize you need to be bluffing these type of hands more. And when you get raised or when you get folds, it's found money. Cool. I'm gonna leave it on this. Go ahead, buddy.
You have the flush draw and you get check raised, you're folding that flush draw there, right? The queen five and the
You
king
go
three.
125 in the big blind. Look at their raising range.
Yeah, when they raise, you fold.
It's purple, and purple is 100%. Your ass is gone.
Right.
Gone, 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 gone. Easy folds. Easy. You're
Yeah.
done. Done.
King four of spades with the is the one that stays.
Done. Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
It
Pair
can't-
and a
it
flush
has-
draw. All the
pair-
pairs in the flush draw.
That's all you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave it
So-
on this, and then I'm going to go ahead and take a quick 5, let my dog out real quick, take a quick phone call. But I'll be back, and then we'll mix to the 2 other board types, study those, and look at marked hands. So cool. I'll be back.
Congratulations, Team Larry.
No worries. Welcome back to the team.
Have you guys played a lot of session of cash game lately?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of cash. How about you, setups?
No, I'm back at study. I'm so much on the downswing in everything I do that I'm back to just study and try to get back my game.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common when you're learning a lot in poker, trying to integrate what you've learned into your actions on table. It's easy to go into a downswing.
I'm very happy with my downswing yesterday because they were all these were tournaments, but they were all getting called by pocket aces, jamming a hand that you should jam and getting called by pocket aces and having an ace. And each time going, well, I did block it. But it happened 4 times yesterday that my jams on the bubble were, I think they were the right jams, but every one of them ran into aces. I went, that's got to be luck, right?
Hold'em resources calculator.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step away, guys.
Do this super quick. Better put this on Insta super quick, guys. All right. Sweet. For anyone who did just join, or just a quick reminder, tomorrow giving away a couple PC premium memberships. I don't know if everyone in this group is a premium member, but if you're looking to get hooked up with one, we'll be giving a couple away in stream, giving away some merchandise. Ignition merchandise, which is fucking rare because I think only a few people in the world has some. We'll be giving that away tomorrow as well. And some cash. There it is. There's a link to the Twitch channel. I thought it would hyperlink, but it did not. Sorry. I think that was, how many hands was that for you, Titan? Was that 2?
Yeah, that was 2.
Uno mas of this spot. Then we switch the spot. Yeah, the Ignition home game. I'm hosting a $1,000 free roll home game. That's what it is. We're gonna be giving away $1,000 tomorrow in a home game as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Connected. Pretty good for the big blind too. We have 2 pair. You could have spades. Let's bet 75 with 2 pair here.
75. Damn, Moulton wanted to go 125. Check raising like a boss, 75. So this is great. This is why we work on this spot. Everyone has kind of I've seen every option almost. Bet 33s, 125s, 75s, everything but 50. And this is not everybody can be right, or can they? Solver does mix up a bit. Let's take a look. Check raising seems practical. Just betting 50 to 75 seems practical as well. And yes, everyone can be right. Something's probably going to fall off. You said bet 75, sir, correct?
Yeah.
Everybody is not right. Czechoslovakia. Check raise. Who said check raise? Is it Larry Legend again? Man, he's so good.
No, you're the legend.
No, God, no. Check you out. Look in the mirror, sir. He's nailing it. Did it again. So we're gonna be check raising. I think it's important to note that we looked at the flush draw boards. How much were we checking on the flush draw boards as a whole? Who remembers?
More than the rainbows.
A lot more. But about how much? Just give me a ballpark of what you think is correct.
69%.
Yeah, about that. It actually is like 70-ish% we're checking as a whole. So when we get to this spot, it always feels like a lot of our range can just mix checking, except for maybe the Pico top, the overpairs. But look at this. If you say check with these, it's not like horrible. Kings without a spade, the intuitive stuff, the overpairs that need protection without a spade. Outside of that, some of these, but you're gonna be checking a lot.
You check sexes, sevens.
7s, check. 9s, mostly check. You said never check. So funny. Queens mixing check 30-40% of the time, on a board that's wet. So
That makes sense though.
yeah.
Upset.
What we're doing is 8% of the time.
It might be because this is a high bet board for in position big blind if we check. So in turn, our strat is to check raise a lot.
Yep. And I think sometimes I always think in this spot, like, do I really want to start building the pot a lot when equity shifting cards are going to come and turn the river and he's going to have portions of his range that just continue? And I'm no longer going to have a very strong hand when it comes 10, Jack, King, especially have a spade or something like that. And then just check raising and building it from there to get clean turns. The bomb could be reasonable. We run so good in poker and life. Go ahead, Titan. Finish her off. You get the cleanest turn of all time. What would you do? He gone?
No, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
You got other people thinking too. You got to be quick. You have a global shot clock in these hands. You ever played on global poker?
No, but I heard it's nice.
It's quick. You have like 12 seconds to make a decision, it feels like.
Again, I've never used an overbet larger than 125, so I want to bet 125 on this blank turn here.
120. Anyone
we
going
bet.
Go ahead.
We bet 75 on the flop. So I mean he's got to have something. But I mean we might fold out the flush draws with the 125, but I think it's fine to go ahead and bet 125 now.
There might be a mix of 175, 125. Everybody kind of agrees with you. And it's a good thought as well. Like we may fold out some flush draws, but he certainly can still have a value portion, some good queen X that would just never fold, some combo draws to even. I don't think he's ever folding king 10 of spades, king jack of spades, even to 125 in position.
Yeah, so we
he's
can get
just
value.
not folding those hands. And in real life, they're never folding. It's a thing. But guess what? Guess what else is a thing? Bega. This is nasty as hell to check again and then check raise. That is actually just beautiful.
That card is so
Oh,
neutral, non-equity shifting.
it's so nasty to check raise somebody here. Oh, why didn't I think of it? 275 is just greed, and it's kind of nasty. I like it. Oh man, that check raise would be so nasty. You have no small bets. 175 is your bet. You have no small bets, really. Damn, we go 75 on flop and only overbet the turn.
All right.
That's it. This blank ass turn, we overbet. I wanted to look at his range. I don't think he's allowed to fold good flush draws with an over. It's
Can
just
you hit breakdown real quick? Let's see how much we're check trapping top of range. Only the very, very top on the right here. In the top graph, we can see it.
up here?
On the
No,
other side. Yeah, so the very top we're trap checking, like our sets and our two pairs.
Set, two pair, two pair, two pair, two pair. Yep, sets and two pair. And you're betting all this other shit, like full frequency. Kings are never checking. King, queen, never checking.
Yeah, I like these top city graphs because it allows
That's
you to
good.
understand, okay, we're betting with the very top of our range. We're betting with the bottom, but then this middle range where all the screen is, you can see we've got a lot of marginal hands that we're gonna check.
You'd never want to check these little flush draws or these little straight draws. Open-ended, 10-8, 6-5, 8-6. Just fucking bet those. Jack 8. Like these are full frequency. Interesting.
I'm trying to get you to the next level of geek sixes.
Please don't. I don't have enough time to
Look
be
at this.
dork here. I
And look at
spent
this
like
breakdown graph.
an hour and a half sitting by myself looking at it.
I feel like I don't like my decisions. I after the fact, I feel like I'm letting the big blind play so well against me.
By using the bet sizing that you're using in these spots, by
Just
not
by the
being
betting
polar
the
enough.
75 on the flop. Yeah, like betting 75 on the flop and then betting 120 or 125 on the turn. He could just stick around with his best draws and like then when the river comes, I'm kind of in the blender when a good card comes for him.
Sir, you have described what yes, correct. And sometimes avoiding that node and sometimes putting your opponent in that spot by being more polar when you're out of position, right? You have him in the blender at 275. Because if he calls 275, And if he makes the mistakes and it's a brick, he's in a really tough spot, right? Like he's lost a lot more. You've pushed so much equity here. It's great.
What changed here? Did the 175 was last time the 175 was all the bets, and now I'm seeing what did something just change?
No, it mixes. It has look 175,
Oh, this
275.
was that's the overall. That's not our hand.
Yeah, our
That's
hand
the
was
aggregate.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, our hand, our actual hand was doing
Our
it.
hand is
7.
right. Our, right,
275,
our
10%.
hand can check. Okay.
Yep. Cool.
Then
Just
when
plain
we just
hand.
went back to the practice thing, then the numbers there, those were our we chose that. Now it looks like the 175 is only 4.1%, is 9.9%. And I just thought that it was like 40%. What am I?
Well, that's
What's
just for the combo, and we were looking at. Weren't we looking at the aggregate?
They had a
Yeah.
purple shades. There was multiple purple shades, and it was correct.
okay?
One of them said 12%. The numbers were a little bit fucked up. I'll be honest, because it looked like it was going 12% another. And I was like, it's not worth diving in like that.
No, I
It's
just
just
didn't
really
understand
not.
the
Like
difference.
I try to understand the concept of I just want to be polar and really go big here, right? Like, oh, I'm not going big enough. Pot's not big enough. 2x pot, 3x pot type shit. Oh, you run so clean.
Right. 6-8 gets there.
All right, Titan, make a good decision. You want to jam? Do you want to do something different? Beep beep.
Okay, I'm gonna jam.
Jamming all in. Still getting called by all the anyone doing anything. Setups checking. Jam for Matthew. Checking's nasty. After seeing it make so much check before and so many straight draws and things he can't call with, I would fucking check and pray to God he's a spazzy son of a bitch and jams. All the king tens. We don't block spades. Any jack X, 10x. All these hands that miss and might want to just jam. Yeah, I don't know. Jam and lose to nines. Does he even? He never called you. Maybe the bet. What's the worst hand he called you with here? Maybe he never folds king queen. That's it. Maybe he has some of the other queen threes, queen five. Does he call queen 10 here? Probably zero EV for him. All right. We are jamming, but I wonder if we can mix check. Nope, only jam.
I think it's just as played, it's a jam. And I just want to say I think this line is probably better for like live cash, like live low stakes cash.
Back that. Yeah, we just get called by all the worst two pairs. He never folds a queen. Are we mixing check with any of the strongest portion of our range on the river to trap? Any strong hands check.
Or you can look at the breakdown.
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna get you hooked on this, man.
Queens. Top set. Middle set a little bit. There's a region, yeah, the queen nines. Queen
The
nine.
very top.
Queen 9 does it. Queen 7
Damn
does.
it. Yeah, it's the queen nine that does it. Ace queen jamming. Your 7-5's two pair. Yeah, this is what's down here. Jack 8. All these miss. You're just following through. Even with the spade, you'd have to still follow through. That's good to see because sometimes I'll talk myself out of it. Jack 8 of spades still jamming.
Jack 8 of spades. I give up that one.
Yeah, I know. King 8, King Jack with the spade. Yee. All right. King 8 of spades. How do you really follow through? You do. Man, I'm looking at mistakes already. Spots that I would not jam down here. All right, cool. Titan, thank you. Let's mix it up. Do one more quick one. We got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. We'll do everyone's favorite. Wait a minute. Should we do low kit discount? No. We've done that. Paired boards. Paired boards, paired boards, paired's good. Oh, I put us back in this spot. I gotta go back and fix it. That's funny. And let's see. Larry, Anna, I seen you typed in earlier. You can type in. You want to try it? You want to give it a shot? Answer a few of these. Always trying to give new people in the group an opportunity to participate.
I appreciate that, Six, but I'm like working and watching at the same time, so I can't fully focus.
That's all right. Completely understandable. So thank you. How about Larry Legend?
Yeah, sure.
Get in here and make some noise, my friend.
All right, so we've got paired boards. That's really gonna push down our betting and our betting frequency, and we're gonna check a lot. So I think we're gonna check.
Just checking do you think this mixes at all, or is this gonna be like an 80-90% check?
Yeah, frequency probably like 75% check, 70% check.
I would go small.
Very marginal showdown with our King X. So.
I would mix small, but it's probably a mistake. It'd be hard not to versus population, but population in these games versus these ranges probably more sticky, and you're just going to be in no man's land. Yep. And that's important you have that little conversation that I just had with myself. Population, people are going to be too sticky. You're just going to be in no man's land on any turn. Nothing's good. It's just nobody's going to be overfolding as much as you think they are to this in your games. So very good.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, people just aren't going to overfold to this anymore. Maybe in tournaments they will, in cash they will not. Here's your betting strategy as a whole on at least this paired board, and you are checking 70% of the time. Not one damn combo is a full frequency C-bet. Not one. You can bet more than not, right? Some of these are 50-50, but nothing. Not one hand is a full frequency. So that's always good to see as well. Like, oh, what portion of my range do I have to bet? Nothing.
Look how we
You
check
can
more and
bet
more
it.
the better our pair because it needs less and less protection.
Less and less protection. Very good point as well, Larry. Even though it's pretty neutral, 49% check, 43, 47, 49, and then it's just checking even more and more. Jinkies, does this need to continue?
I think we call one here.
Peel one, call. Yeah, I can imagine. Guess what? It sucks either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine folding, but you know it's never fun. The same reason you didn't want to see bet is okay, please, don't bet again, or we need to pick up equity, right? So you're never leading. I don't think there's there's a little bit. Is this good enough to call for two, getting 3-1? Does this meet 25% MDF? Or do you need the ace X in your pairs?
Didn't properly polarize, but I think we can just fold now.
King, queen off.
I think we can fold. I mean, so yeah, I think we can fold. I wonder if it's better to have I think it's
Ace deuce.
better to be blocking his flush draw.
Are you folding ace deuce?
Ace deuce. I think ace deuce begins to call. I think an ace begins to call.
Okay. Set haps. You call king queen, king jack?
Oh no, I'm three betting. I go. I think 50% is enough.
Set abs just makes a 180 and it's check raising the king queen king jack. And why?
Because the king's not a great start not to be a great bluff catching, and right there's a lot of bluff in his range that I will take the pot most of the time with this bet. He's gonna
Oh,
have a hard time continue without a 7 or a 9, and he didn't raise pre-flop, so his top of range isn't there neither. So he's mostly capped to discard when he's raising, and I still can make a top pair with a king or a jack. So
you guys hear how Sedhab's mind works relative to others? Like it is consistently finding the bluffs in the weak portions of range where other people are finding the monsters under the bed and afraid. So setups, you got to mix in a little bit more fear factor. And some of you need to mix in a little bit more setups.
Yeah, setups is a natural redliner. It just comes
Yeah.
instinctually to him.
Yeah, it just like instinctually. It doesn't come instinctually to a lot of other people. I
No,
always bring that
I'm a
point up.
scaredy cat. I wish I thought more like
Yeah, me too
setups.
sometimes. I'm getting a lot more of it as I get older in this game. I just don't care as much and try shit.
Yeah.
But folding this, Larry's folding this, and then the king queens and the whatnot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mostly falling.
Mostly folding. That means king queens in there for 0. King queen also.
Yeah, so our best ace highs can begin to
Ace deuce. It's
defend.
not in there. I keep saying ace deuce. That's never going to be in there.
But yeah, we need not our ace twos.
Open-ended, you have these natural draws, 9x pairs, uh flush draws, better ace highs. It's pretty straightforward, right? This is all pretty straightforward strategy. So I
your
mean,
bluff catching start at ace 10.
Yeah.
here you go. Set apps. What you're looking for here was the jack tens. You need more equity when you pull off these. Like king 10's a sliver in there, like, but jack 10. You have a gut shot in 2 overs. Just be more patient and find the situation where you actually have more equity. And I love how you love to fight for every pot, but it's a little bit too much. You got to find better portions of your range to do it.
Ace 10 is the cutoff, not just because of its showdown value against the other aces,
That's
but it's
another over. Yep, it's 2 overs.
Yeah,
Yep.
good point, guys.
Did you call? No, you folded. Rectus. Said Abzuda got that to fold.
yeah.
WP setups.
There's a deuce out there. Go ahead.
There's some kinds of board that just have too much bluff in an opponent's range. I love to raise over. Solver doesn't like it as much.
Yeah, we're gonna check a lot here.
Still checking a lot on this paired board with this portion of our range. I was going to ask, but you know you're allowed to check everything after looking at some of this. This 5 high one, I thought with the deuce out there, we might get to bet a little bit more, but it's actually the 5s are really bad for us. Still checking. 77%. These are the bottom of our range type hands, though. It's 9, 10, 7, 8, queen 8, jack 8.
Yeah, running in the trainer like I'm running in real life.
No, here we go.
Yeah, so it's for check.
Yep.
I like the 10 blocker. I don't think we really want to float this pot though. I think we can. I think this likes protection as well. I think, but it's a paired board. I think that I like a check call here actually.
A check call. Get him to. I mean, maybe the thoughts I could kind of see. Maybe a better thought is I don't think I can get 2 streets of value. I get 1 bigger street. I get him to bluff off.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
That might be a way I would look at it. Here is like maybe I don't get 2 streets naturally always. I can get 2 streets from bluff, and I can get always ensure I get a bigger street of value sometimes on a river where I can go 4, 5, or 6 on the blank. So
I mean, there's
that
some
might be.
value for equity denial here, so there's a value in betting, I think.
Yeah, without the overs. Oh, we do have an over as well. So,
But then again, there's a tension between that and the fact that it's a paired board, even though he went check. You know, it's solver, so he's going to protect his checking range. So, you know, I'm gonna check here still. I'd like to see. Yeah.
I was with you. I use this. This is a very good spot to check a lot in tournaments or a lot of spots like this. Like, ask yourself, the first question I would maybe asking myself is, like, am I going to be able to get 2 streets of value? His range stays wide open. I think in a natural human interaction here is when they see you check twice, they're going to be pretty inclined to go bluff, bluff. And we have a really, really nice bluff catcher. I know versus a lot of opponents who have aggressive tendency. Said Habs, you're sitting here, your ass is getting checked too. You're going bet, bet, and I'm calling. Or
Also,
people like that, right?
we might bet more without the spade, but the spade is a good card to
And a
have.
spade, yes, that's a
But
very
I think
good.
it's going to increase our checking frequency.
Yep, 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 yep. I agree with everything there. I would have been checking this a shitload. And your 9x. Do I do the breakdown? No, wait a minute. I want to look at it like this, my brain. So this is one of your worst 9x as well. You're betting your better, your best 9x, king
Yeah.
9, queen 9, ace, king, and queen 9. 9, jack 9, and 10-9 make really good bluff catchers.
But the spade, I think it looked like the spade did the opposite for you. Can you just hold on that just for a second? We check more with the spade.
Yeah, you have a good point. Yeah, that's
know,
yeah.
I don't
think we're
know
gonna
why,
check more.
That's
with
what we
the
were saying.
spade. We're gonna
We
check
wanna-
more with the spade because
Oh, right.
equity denial isn't as important to us.
Correct. We're going to check more with the spade. That's what we were saying. And without the spade, we would be betting a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then 8, 9, still like a 50-50, but mostly checking. Makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's 8, 9. Yeah, that's good. What else makes sense here? When you have the 2 overs with or without a spade, you are just going for it now. With some of the middling weakest portions of your range, your queen high, 10 high, if you checked jacks or 10s, it all makes sense, right?
I assume that's about blocking all his 9x. I assume
His queen, jack, and 10-9.
like the queen 10.
No,
And
it
then-
just maxes this characteristics where you would go big as well, right?
Yeah.
With the overpair to that.
Okay.
Because you would, I mean, we're checking so much, and since we're checking jacks, 10s, 9s, queens here, when you get to this node with those, you probably go just fucking ape shit, right? Just go crazy.
The only
difference-
question for me is
kings.
if we check and he bets, do we check raise? And I don't think we actually do with this card with his
No.
hand.
No, hell no. We just check call and then bluff catch. No way we check. No way.
I find the difference between queens, kings, and aces, they're shocking.
I know, me too. I can't believe we're checking that much. I would never check that much with kings.
Check,
I
check.
would actually never.
All right, so 6, 7 got there, but we're still gonna need to bet for value here. And I don't, this might be a blocker bet sizing. Yeah, let's use, let's go with, I think it's either B33 or B75, so I'm gonna throw in a blocker here. I think this is a blocker.
What are you
Blocker sizing.
What are you targeting?
Yeah, so he's gonna have some 2s, he's gonna have some river 8s. He's gonna have 3s and 4s. I mean, a lot of times he's gonna try to check down 3s and 4s and 6s.
How much equity do you think you have when it goes check, check in this spot? And he's got a pretty capped range. Would you say you have like
How much
Over
equity do I
si-
have with this combo?
with this combo and it gets here and you have an 8, like it feels like you have a lot of equity.
Well, there's a straight available and it's a paired board. Although we should have bet by now with this. I would say, probably between 50 and 60, maybe, yeah, 15, 60.
That would lead me to be betting bigger if I thought I had that much equity versus a range where I could still get called by an 8, ace highs, and worse pairs. So for me personally, I think 75, but checking probably doesn't induce enough. Yeah, I'd probably just say with 75. It feels like the only thing that makes sense once again to me.
Yeah, I think
Two's
it
too
might, I
small.
think it's, yeah, I think it might be, I'm sizing down because a straight got there and because it's a paired
I
board.
guess. Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah.
I think you might be right. I think you have a very good point. I might be leaving some money on the table.
You going to?
Yeah, I'm gonna go, no, it checks.
6, 7 does get there. Yeah.
Yeah, we're checking
We're
this
gonna be
down with this. This
bluffs.
board has got
Please
numerous
raise us.
nightmares.
It's so hard to get to these rivers and decide. I want to put a non-8 out there. Let's put like something that doesn't make a straight.
Everything makes it straight.
I know that makes everything. I'm trying to think
Everything
like
makes
everything.
overcard to our 9.
Oh God, what do we do
Pair the
here? I
deuce.
just want to see.
Give it another 5.
Oh, it's more 75 here. Okay, this is what
Yeah,
I
now
was
we get
something
some
like
bigger
this.
betting.
Now we get some bigger betting. Ah, man, it's so
Yeah, I
hard to
mean,
know, right? Like I feel like this would be a common bet size or a bet size we can utilize a lot, but it's just so card specific.
He doesn't
the
have
solver's really good at not getting sucked out onto.
It's
It's
really good, dude. The solver is amazing.
in cash, especially at 100
I
big
don't even
blinds.
know what card I want. Yeah, like you guys said, everything is just bad.
5. Another 5.
You
That's
could pair the deuce and that would be pretty much a blank.
uh
Uh,
deuce is pretty good. He checks back deuces.
Yeah, you still get to use the 75 here with this. Okay, I mean the 75 is good for other bet sizes, but not there. Damn it. I have time for one more hand, and then I gotta go maybe see if we have a hand to review. Because I remember Matthew dropped one in earlier, so I want to make sure to attend to that. And then we gotta maybe start wrapping it up.
Matthew had a small blind hand.
Yeah,
Yes,
I had
yes.
2 really interesting hands. I don't know which one is the small blind, but it was a small blind in a 3-bet pot, so it's not.
That's fine.
what
We'll
we've
look at the
studied
small
today.
blind spot. So make sure we look at one. Go ahead, Larry. Last
Yeah, I
one.
think this is a check again. I think we check. I mean, we're gonna try to get our ace high to showdown on a paired board. Yeah, a lot.
And it's good. I mean, it doesn't feel like today we learned a lot, and a lot of it is just being able to check a lot, right? And then understanding when you do have a bet size in some of these boards, you can be a little bit more polar if you want to mix. A lot of this is checking.
Uh-oh, it's coming up with something dastardly.
Uh-oh, he's up to no good. He
So, we can't fold this. We've got backdoor action and we've got ace high, so we just call.
Call. Didn't see a check raise. I would just probably check call as well. Do I dare ask the young Adamo? Young
I was
Adamo.
gonna check call because I made the mistake check raising.
Yeah, I'm checking you. Thank you. Good. Nice improvement. Check call. Yes.
This is interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, we're never leading. We're just gonna check.
He says never ever leading. Anybody leads? Any leads?
Nope.
Nopers.
I'm actually considering leading here, 20.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Good job, Molten.
I think it's close because we have a lot of 5x and ace-x can actually get like a tiny bit of value from like king
Can you go to
highs.
breakdown real quick? Let's see how much our full houses are leading. So it's all through full house. It's all through our
I mean, it
it's all
ain't
through our
much.
range, but it's all because we have full houses at some frequency that we get to dump.
Yep. Why did you show me this? Why did you do this to me?
I know, man. If you can forget about your family now. You're just gonna be looking at
Why
breakdowns
did
all
you
night.
do this? God damn it.
Welcome to the rabbit hole of the breakdown tab.
Oh.
City graph.
We can't lead, but it's a little bit higher EV and a little bit more standard to check. It's 10% of our range, but you can sometimes lead a 6 for sure.
Now this is interesting. I think on a double pair board, we're
I'll
not.
check, Scotty.
Yeah, we're not ever putting a bet in. If we do, it's gonna be a B21, which I never use anyway. So I think we just check. We check. I mean, we could try to get value from king high. But especially when it goes check, check. But I think we check.
What do you think is going to make your life easier? Check call or bet 21 or bet small?
I mean, clearly
What's higher
check call
variance?
is the easier mental decision. I mean, for your mental health, but I don't know if that's the right decision in solver land. But I think generally we just take our ace high, our here, and
You
we
know it's great.
and we
We're
check.
gonna learn either way, right? Like a lot of people are advocating stab on double pair board, and this is kind of a very a common enough spot that we encounter where it's good to learn.
I mean, we went bet small. Yeah,
Ah!
makes sense. I thought we might have, this is a value bet, right?
And I
Times
asked
get
you the
value from
question:
king
what's
high.
gonna be what's gonna make your life easier?
Well, I
You
think
check
check
here and it
calling
fucking
is
goes
easier.
150% pot with the bluff. I mean, your life is just hell, and you get a check call for a chop sometimes to at best be chopping, which is never fun. You get bluffed off. You allow it feels so high variance, is what I was kind of
Yeah.
like alluding to. You have increased the variance of a spot where you could just bet small, and then people don't have the damn balls to do anything about it.
So
How many
yeah,
people
I
are going
kind
to
of
turn
think
into
of,
a bluff? Here.
say it again.
Like, how many people, when you go small here, are going to turn the hand into a bluff versus you?
Um,
Bet abs.
yes, as well.
But you also mix with your 6x a little bit. People are probably unbalanced. Your 4x should be going small a little bit. I mean, your 5x. A lot of small with 5s.
Or is this a bluff?
6, going small some. Damn, that's just checking. I don't know. It seems pretty. I get it. I mean, I tend to not want to put myself in hell. Like, look at all these ace X, 21%.
Yeah, I was off base. I mean, I think this is a value bet. Can you look at the equity of our combo?
Sure.
Yeah, that was a good question you asked before. You were asking about the equity. Yeah, you're asking me a question about the equity.
Mhm.
So yeah, our equity is a lot higher than I thought. So I was totally off base here.
Yeah.
When it goes check on turn, yeah, our equity base high is
It's
significant.
insane because he needs to be building this fucking pot. He
Yeah.
needs to be betting a 6 or a 5. A good. I mean, he's probably not all of them, but he's going to be betting a lot. I mean, the 5's check, but not all of them. There even some of these mix. But look at the 6. Not really, bro.
Yeah, he's stripped of a lot of his sixes. I see your point.
Yeah. Yeah. Down here, yeah. I mean, yeah. But I mean, I just think I just go small. And I don't want to be in this spot where I check and then they do overbet and I actually have to hero off incorrectly or fold the best hand. Feels really, really bad.
What's the EV difference
Take
again?
it between the
You can just show us here. It'll show here.
How?
So if we check,
Oh
it's
yeah.
8.1, same
Not
EV,
much.
but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I can totally get behind a blocker sizing here.
Yeah.
It's a value bet.
Miss.
And we would have gotten value from his,
Yeah,
he might
he
have
calls.
heroed with his king high when it's blind versus blind.
Yeah, I mean, a real person just loses the 2.5 and moves on to the next hand, doesn't think about it again. Just make 2.5 bigs. But, oh, Titan's out of here. I missed it. Sweet. Let's go ahead and lock up a marked hand or two before we get out of here. Thank you, Dad. That's all we're going to do for the small versus big stuff. But before we just move on, did anyone have any final thoughts regarding the small versus big blind stuff like that we looked at today? Anything they picked up that maybe thought it was easy to share?
I wanted to understand one thing that you said on the end of this one is you felt that betting 2.1 makes your life easier because you bet the 2.1, he calls you with his king and he calls you with his ace and all that happens. And when he raises you, you just fold and you feel confident folding to that, but you don't feel confident folding when you check. Is that it?
Correct. Well, I just think when you check, you have no idea where you're going to be in the decision tree, do you? You don't know if he's going to pot it, overbet, go 8, check with the worst hand like he does here that you could have got value from. I think there's way more variance in your life and your decision. You don't know if you need to check call and you're going to be incorrect. You don't know if you're check calling to a best chop. You don't know if you're check calling you're dead. You see how many how many more decision points and things happen when you go check it that you have to face.
Right.
How
But
often are you going to blocker your 6x?
But you also know he's going to use the 5x a lot more than the 6x.
Yeah, but if you're going to use blocker bet, you're going to have to mix in top of range.
You're going to have to
right?
max in top of range as well. Yeah, it is. It's mixing 5 and 6x with that bet
But yeah,
versus a
so
fairly capped range.
I see your point, and I know that and God's Big Toe has talked about this a lot, using blocker sizing here, and obviously the solver loves it. I see your point. I see your point. I just wonder sometimes if people exploitatively see that as you playing your hand face up and making clear what your equity is.
That's
So
going to
they,
happen sometimes, of course, but
Yeah.
dude, I mean, we're worried about like that one thing happening with somebody who's playing completely in a moment. Well, that I'd rather have that happen to me where I get bluffed and somebody plays well than the times I check. If I check here every time, the variance and the mental, and it's just gonna be too hard on me to not make a mistake. I'm gonna make way more mistakes checking than I am betting small. People are gonna play way more straightforward than you think in this spot, especially if you're balanced.
Yeah, Joey likes to make a very good point, which I've taken to heart, is that if you're going to use blocker sizing OOP on river, you still need to be called over 50% of the time and win for it to be profitable, just like any other spot. So
Yeah, I mean, and just think of the other side of it. How often do you need to be correct when you're calling pot size out of position here, and then you're
Yeah.
chopping sometimes? These guys will put you in weird spots. I don't know.
should we look real quick? If we blocker here, or play as it says we should, and we get and we see the most common raise size from imposition, what is our play? So if we blocker and then
fold, because that's what.
and they raise to 13.5, which is the most common. They don't really have many raises, but if they raise to 13.5, we are now indifferent. Yeah, we're indifferent.
Zero
We're making
EV.
decisions based on blockers
Losing.
to the suits.
It's all negative EV calls, like except for it's all like unless you're ace deuce and 3 unblocked so much of the middle of their range here, like I don't know. But it's all zero EV and nothing's happy.
And your play there though was you were going to fold to the raise, right? You were
Fuck
going to
yeah,
fold
I'm
your
snap folding.
right. Okay, and that's what makes it simple is that you're going to fold it. Okay,
And look,
great.
let's see, yeah, and it's mixing.
This
in
is what I would do a
6x.
lot. I mean, we have the 5x, right? And then it's like the boats. Yeah.
All right, one more quick question. I know you're running out of time, Sixes, but all right, let's say we check and then he bets his most common bet size. So we check and his most common bet size is
150.
B150. Now what are we gonna do? Now we're pure calling. Yeah, now we're pure calling. So not pure, but we're calling most.
Maybe
So-
just check this spot is better.
Yeah, I mean, this is my argument that
But I mean,
checking has value, right?
But you could see how the solver will have the appropriate amount of bluffs for 150, and then like a real person needs to be using everything here. This
Yeah.
stuff is a bluff.
Yeah, you gotta totally,
Like
yeah, people are not gonna bluff this spot.
I
enough.
don't know,
Totally.
like, and then looking at this range, it still has a fucking 6 and a 5 in there a lot, like, and then it has to be using these under pairs. You can see how the variance could be pretty tough here, but you do just call when you do.
Yeah, I
If
see
you
your
think
point.
they have enough point, but you're going 2.5, the solver likes that better than needing to do this, even though it thinks it prints when you do call. It just likes to go small better. So you don't have to deal with this shit.
Yeah, I hear you. You have a good point.
You don't have to deal with this shit if you just bet 2.5, but if you do, you have to check call and sometimes lose 12. But sometimes you're gonna win 12, right? And it's under bluffed. So versus population, you think you're looking at it like this, you probably it's sick. That's why I don't know what to do. I feel like I don't want to be a nit and overfold to it. And then I call, I feel stupid because people don't bluff.
Right.
But then I'm like, well, I can't overfold to this spot because I don't know. That's why I'd rather just always
It's
go
a tough, yeah, it's an interesting spot.
It really is.
I totally see the value of a blocker. That's why Solver likes it.
Yep. Too high variance. I think the variance on the other end is higher. That's why as well. I have time to look at like one hand. I think I promised Matthew.
So this, that's not the small blind hand. Happy to, it's a good hand.
I got you.
I unleashed my inner Sedab. Okay. So this is the small blind hand. This is a straddle pot. So this guy's in the under the gun guy's going to raise, but that's a straddle.
Okay.
The under the gun one player is new to the table, but seems good. And this is one where I think it's possible every single one of my decisions was wrong here. And that there's a lot of decisions. So that's, I'm saying, a lot.
So you're like 150 big blinds effective. Is that right? Against
Yeah,
the
but with the
razor?
straddle, that's effectively reduced. But yes.
I think you can set mine here at that
I
stack
think-
depth.
Molten, are you in here?
No, I don't think it's even close. I think this is well outside of. It's just a 4.
Mike
It's a
MC?
zero EV. It's zero EV. It's not a negative EV flat. It's a zero EV flat.
But this is straddle involved as well. There's 2 blinds. This isn't.
Yeah, we're way out of position.
I mean, we're in the small blind here as well.
Okay.
Like it's everything is pointing to.
we
Everything
were
is
talking about this-
pointing to
we were-
folds for me, but
We're not gonna get the solver theory because.
I know.
because-
I just want to see like in any kind of situation, small blind, button, small blind. But this would be in the big blind, but the big blind has more invested than the small blind. The big blind is partially in there in the straddle pot. Okay, I just wanted to see something myself because I was like, I think we at some in a straddle you would never fold. In a big blind, you're kind of halfway in there. You're in there a little bit more. Is it the same? It's 5-5. Oh, it's 5-5-10. Oh. Man, I'm so torn. Fuck it, I might flick it. All right, I did it. Some of these games, the thing about these games, you got to give a little action to get a little action. You try to sit here and play these solver strategies in these live cash games, you'll look like the biggest nit in the world, never get action. You got to get in there and mix it up some. It's weird to say that out loud to tell you to play a little bit bad. It takes some of these zero EV spots to chase and try to hit nuts, but if you don't, what's the alternative? Sitting there forever.
I will-
Not from the small blind, though.
No,
No,
not from the small blind. It's hard to say if I would like this. This would be all game flow for me. I know it's not making money or zero, but I'll literally set mining versus bad players is 150, 200 bigs deep. Sure. Oh God. Well, I still like folding, but I don't hate flatting now. I know I probably like if we're playing well, fresh, and trying to win money and not like spew, get in there. But if you're drinking, the table's loose, everybody's talking. This is real life, right? Like these kind of things where you want to get in these spots kind of make sense, but it's bad. You get this far, anyone check raising? I would like a check raise. Set halves. Oh my God. What size?
He bet for 45, so you don't need to be that much, but something like 140.
So when you check raise to 140 and he goes all in, are you folding?
I would be thinking, I think at the end he didn't hit this board so much, and why will he?
Does he need to hit this board to win this hand? Can he not have the overpair?
He does have overpair in this board, but he does have ace king, ace queen, ace jack.
But if
in
he
his
has
range.
those combos, why not just call, see a brick, and reevaluate from there and get to realize all your equity rather than the time you check raise set habs to 140, 150. Then he rips it all in with the overpair and somehow having a set and you're just smoked. The ace king and ace queens are going to be shook on a lot of middling low card boards and not double barrel. And then you could even decide to double barrel if you really believes it, or if he makes a bet sizing error, right? People will go too small when you still have the gut shot and set outs. So I just don't want you to over condense your villain's ranges in these spots to just over pairs where they're never folding. If he has the ace king and ace queens, what is he going to do on a turn on some of these low bad turns, set apps?
He's gonna continue to bluff catch with his ace.
No, he's going to check if you didn't check raise.
Yeah,
Then he is
but,
going to cap his range.
yeah, but on
Or
the
he's
turn
going
for
to go small.
for sure, if he calls this bet, you have to continue on the turn. But anyway, I think the call is maybe less dangerous.
Cool. We call
So then we
and
bink the set.
lead.
Think the set with a 4-liner.
Yep. I think
Yeah,
we're
but he
calling with
doesn't have
such
a
a
three.
call. We're
But
calling
he
with
does not have a 3.
We're calling with such a condensed range here. I think I will lead for small. I think he's checking back all over pair. And we don't, the only way to get 2 more streets a lot is to bet turn and river. If we check call and then we check river, he may not bet rivers always. He won't call a check raise. Yeah, I would lead.
So I planning to check raise, thinking he's going to bet his aces here, aces and kings.
So why would you want to check raise, Matthew?
Because I want to get more money in the pot. I think I'm good 100% of the time here, or 95% of the time.
Well,
And
aces are folding to a check raise is what I'm alluding to. Aces are fucking out of there in a live cash game.
I'm not
They're
so
check
sure.
raising on a 4-line board with every straight possible, and you have no bluffs. There's no way people are bad enough to give you a full stack on this board with 7, 8, 4s, 5s, 6s, 3s. No one pair hand is good in 1 million years here. I don't think another soul would ever put in a full stack. So I'm leading the turn to get 2. And I think he's going to check even over pair on this board. Anybody with a brain is not giving you a stack if you check raise turn.
So it goes check, check, and the river is a king.
Uh-oh.
You went too small. I'm gonna need checks.
So
what you're targeting, but
well, I in retro, I'm wondering. A question I had is whether I should have gone for a river check raise, because if he doesn't, I mean, the king hits his ace king, which is still a big part of his range. Ace king, king queen, maybe, and he'll think he's good since the turn went check check. So I think he could bet that. But I led for an amount that I thought he'd call. I think it was probably a little small.
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller for a lead. Either check or go big. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? I would just have always led river or led turn in river in this spot. That's just the way I play these spots. It's just with this hand. Bet pot and get called by a king. Yeah, I would have went like 160, 150 plus in this spot. Anyone checking? Bet pot, nothing. Yeah, 75% pot, huh? So what would you do here on this river? Are you a fan of betting, leading out big, checking, and what would your size be here, buddy? I don't think I'm checking. What are you doing, Skate? 175. Sad abs goes. Whoa! I wish we can't run this hand, but it's fine.
So we bet 100. He calls and he says after he had a king, which of course makes sense.
Yeah.
I would have explodedly overbet a little bit larger. Just a little bit larger.
Yeah.
I mean, he is capped. It went check, check on turn. So I think oftentimes when villain has capped range, I mean, you're not just targeting his kings that got there, right? You're also targeting his heroes from queens, his heroes from jacks, heroes from tens.
Yeah.
Maybe in a hero from ace high doesn't believe you because he's saying to himself, I block ace 3. So I don't mind your sizing. I mean, you've got a capped villain. He bet relatively small on flop, check, turn. And you get here, you can use a smaller size against the cap range.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
would have went bigger personally,
I think I
but I
could have
know
gone
what your
a
I know what
tiny
your
bit
thought.
bigger.
I know what your thoughts are though, Larry. Less like you still want to encompass the underpairs of the king that took this line.
Yeah, I mean,
I just would
it's
think it's inelastic, and the king hits a large enough portion. When he's calling, and when he's not, it's not. Like I don't see there's a difference between 1 and 150 enough. So I probably went with like 150.
I mean, it sucks
I think
balls
that
when he has top of range and he has ace king, but I mean, you're also looking to get calls from more of his range, right? Getting calls
Nines,
from
eights. Yeah, the
tens, eights,
smaller we
nine,
go, the
yeah.
more. Yeah, but it's almost inelastic between 100 and 150 between those hands. But maybe it's not.
No, I
Maybe
see
they
your
call
point.
half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, there's not much
it's all
difference from
big.
150.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Sada. Go ahead, Molten. Let's go, buddy.
Larry, you said that you would like to go smaller against the cap range.
I think generally with you can, I mean, you're absolute top of range. You got like 95, 90, maybe not with maybe not with four to a straight, but you've got like 85, 90% equity here. I mean,
Yeah.
so if you looked at the solver would be using all different sizes to target different
True.
portions of his range profitably, right?
That
Right.
is the truth.
Sometimes it would use a larger size to target the king X. And other times it would use a smaller size to target just what I was talking about before. But his range is capped. So I would use a smaller size here sometimes to
Right.
try to get value from a larger part of his range than just king X or aces.
Oh. Yep, complete. I gotta start wrapping it up. Don't mean to end so abruptly, but yeah, I think this hand is well played. We just can use a different, like Larry nails it. You can use whatever the fuck bet size you think they're gonna call here. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
I agree.
Sweet. Did anyone have any final questions?
Just to
Thoughts,
shout
or
out
anything
Sixes.
like
You've
that?
been doing this for a couple years now, and you're really good at it, and I appreciate you putting the effort in. I know this isn't your prime game. I know you're more tournament guy, and I just was shout out to you for doing these for us each week.
Oh, dude, I mean, I love it. I'm having one of the best years. I'm having a fucking killer year. And I think part of it is being a student of the game. I'm a student of the game, right? And part of it's the cash game side. And I love cash. And I know eventually I'll be in that street, and it just helps me understand poker as a whole. Like some of these strategies mix and mesh, and just seeing the textures, the boards, and the bet sizing. It's all good. So, I really appreciate that,
Yeah, man.
buddy.
No worries. And also Friday, anybody who's here, Friday at 1:15 Chicago time, Scotty hosts a badass session. We go deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure to check out that session. I've heard nothing but good things from those people that go to it. So it's good value there as well. And it's another opportunity to improve and get better. But yeah, did anyone else have anything? Go ahead, Setups.
I just want to ask Scotty, can you send me a message Friday just to remind me I need to put this on my calendar when comes the time, and
no.
forgot to open the screen
Setups.
like a clown.
I got you. No, do this right now. Go to the damn event section. Just do this. And then
We're now listed.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are. It's right here.
I said we're now listed, not live.
We're
now
listed.
sorry.
And then you hit
We're now listed.
interested, and you'll get a
And then we're
notification. It'll notify you on your device.
Oh, but perfect. I'll
just do that every time.
I didn't know that.
Now you know. Boom.
But you said the hour was what is the hour for Eastern?
You'll see it there.
Eastern, it is 2:15 Eastern.
Okay, it's a 2:50. Perfect.
Right? Did I just do the math right? Yeah, we do 11:15, 2:15 Eastern.
Yep.
All right.
Did anyone have any other questions or anything from today's group? Anything else?
Oh, it's perfect.
Sweet.
I have a lot to see, but the low board, I see today that you have to check a lot, low
check a
board
lot.
and check call a lot and not check raise.
Yeah, I mean, a couple things that we'll quickly try to finish, but anytime there's two broadways, so my quick takeaways for you guys would be ace high paint boards, ace king X, ace queen X, ace jack X, BVB. You do get to mix in some larger sizing, sometimes exploitatively. You can go small, If it's so strong, you want to keep them in, but you can mix in some bigger sizes, and that should include hands that have equity around the ace. You can't just do it with a lot of your range. You're checking a lot in these spots. A lot of these textures, you only go small, or you check your entire range. Overpair. You cannot overpair, overplay, overpair on paired boards, three low boards, and you should be checking overpair a lot from out of position to trap. So that's a lot. Seen the day. And there was a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, I think that's it. I think this Thursday, I'm gonna see if I have any marked hands from our 75K on Sunday. So we're gonna look at some more deep stage tournament stuff there, and maybe review some hand histories and tournaments. I think I had some notes that I wanted to look there for Thursday. But yep, that's it. If you guys need anything or have any suggestions, this is a community ran group. I'm trying to help you guys get better at this. So if there's anything specifically that you guys want to work on, man, don't be shy. Let me know. And we'll get there, right?
Is your next stream tomorrow night, Sixes?
Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow night. That's gonna be our 6-year streaming anniversary where I'm giving away a shitload of bunch of stuff, right? I'm
All
on
right,
a
I'll be in
heater.
chat, man.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I'm on a heater, everything's going well. And we're gonna be giving away some PC memberships, some Iggy merch, and $1,000 free roll with some cash in chat. So yeah, it'll be on
When is that? This weekend?
tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, 9:15 p.m. Eastern on my channel and in the Ignition client. There will be a home game with my shit on there.
Be there or be square.
Yeah, there's a password. It's password protected, so you have to come and chat and shit to get it.
I'll be on a plane.
Well, enjoy yourself. Have
All
fun.
right.
All right, guys. I'm out
Thank
of
you,
here.
sir.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys. Good luck,
Thank
fam.
you.
I appreciate you guys.
See you
Take care.
tomorrow.
Thank you,
Thank you.
buddy.
Bye.
Late.